in with medium bots versus tribal, which will be followed by Get Paper Scissors and the Purple Cobras. I'm joined today by C-Force. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited, man. I'm happy to be here.
So you're looking forward to these two games? Are you expecting anything out of any particular team?
I don't know too much about Tribal. I know quite a few people on the medium bots. I like them as players, but I really don't know how this is going to go. I haven't seen anything from Tribal yet this season, so not.
Well, this sort of stage of the season, medium bots currently sitting on 6 points, tribal gaming just 1 point behind them with 5 points. So it's a pretty even match according to the table. We're looking towards the sort of player stats. Medium bots have quite a lot of players in that high end of the table, whereas tribal sort of spread out across that table.
But Tribal does have Jaybird, and that man has 74 kills.
Tribal really hanging on that ADC of Jaybird. Every time I see him play, he's absolutely amazing. There's not really a game where I've seen him shut down or really forced to be played out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see him play. His just looking at him in comparison to everywhere else in the league, he's just has this insanely high kill death assist ratio, this crazy high kill ratio, not really that many deaths. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Jaybird play in particular.
Are you having any spectator issues? Because it kicked me
I
out
am
my
actually.
first one.
Yeah, it kicked me out of mine as well.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
They might have restarted the lobby.
And thank you, Silent Aces, for the follow. Very much appreciated. So just
Okay, I'm in now.
yep, and it seems like the game's popped, and we have a first ban of Shibbolonke.
I think it makes sense. The ultimate and the team fight presence is pretty insane, followed by a Merlin ban from the other side of Trump.
Yeah, I've spoken about it a lot in these classic games. The Shibbolonke ban, I understand it because of that ultimate pressure, but he's really not performed to the high sort of standard that he's capable of doing, and people have managed to shut him down. As we do see the pretty standard Arthur ban also come out from the bots.
Yeah, definitely. There's something going on in Classic League. These Classic League players, for some reason, have been really good at shutting down the Shibbolonke. But just looking at SPL and higher level ranked, he still does have a really good win rate and pick rate. So I still think it's a solid ban. And then an ISIS ban coming out. That's a bit interesting. Have people been playing ISIS? I know they were in Premier League.
I know Schrodinger's been talking a lot this week about playing ISIS or maybe even Scylla. So maybe they're just taking some of that away from him.
Taking Schrodinger's ISIS away. Now that you say that, that's 100% what they're doing. He definitely enjoys playing his ISIS, and they're going to pick up first pick Achilles, which I think is really strong. They tried to take a target ban at Schrodinger, so they might have to give up, the Achilles pick here.
But they will manage to pick that Hera, which is a very strong mid laner with a lot of pressure that you can apply. So I guess I would say getting a very strong mid laner, but there are still a lot of mid laners on the table, and that Naja also getting locked in by Jaybird. So I imagine that would probably be a support Naja, or do you think we'll see it in the jungle?
It could be either or. Naja has quite a bit of flex potential. I think that's a really strong pick. Even though Naja got nerfed recently, I still think it's a very, very solid god. A lot of setup potential with the ultimate. A lot of early game pressure still, too, with the ring toss.
And there we see it, the Scylla locked in for the bots. Now, for me, that is a very big counter to Hera. Because if you stay on top of Hera and she drops Argus on you, you can just sick 'em Argus, and late game it will branch off and hit Hera as well. So it's a very easy way to sort of burn Hera's beads out.
Can you actually sick 'em Argus?
Yes, you can.
That is amazing. That is a really cool counter. I did not know that. And then you're also looking at potentially a Hunbot's pick here. I think that's actually a really solid pick. I think Hunbot's, with the recent buff to his 3, is actually in a really good place. his clear's a lot stronger. He's definitely seeing a lot more usage.
Yeah, Humbat's, I believe, is one of the strongest gods in this league at the moment. As we do see him locked in. He's got about a 50% win rate, but has been, I think, played 4 times, banned 3 times. So one on the top end of the high priority. And I guess if you're looking at that Humbat ult into Scylla ult, that could be a lot of trouble for you, especially when you're sort of immobile in that time and Scylla can just free cast that ult.
Definitely a good point. Wait, so if you can root Argus, can you like fear it with Hunbot's ult?
Argus isn't immune to CC, so I don't know if because it's a
That'll
root
be
Argus is
interesting. I've
stopped,
never
or
noticed it. I'm interested to look out for that though now.
now you mention it, yeah, that definitely something I want to see. See if Argus can fear no evil, or does he get, in fact, taken in by
Just
it?
be better. Really thinking about this pick. Oh. Or not. Okay. They still had time.
Yeah, just spectators seem to glitch out for me there. I thought the lobby was closing as well.
Okay, they pick up a Kumbkarna. I think Kumba's really, really good. I think he's extremely solid. He's going to offer a lot of team fight. I just realized they have Najah and Kumba on the same team, and I just think that's going to be hilarious. Just knocking one person up and just completely taking that person out of the game. I think that can be very effective.
So not even Naja looking for the kills, or you talking about Kumba knocking them up and then Naja catching them on the landing?
I think either or could work, honestly. Either or, I think it's definitely good. Seeing a Fafnir ban, has he been performing really well?
Not necessarily, but it is more of a targeted ban if you do have auto attack gods. So Naja, I guess, is that auto attack god. I'm presuming they haven't quite picked their hunter yet, or their solo
I
laner.
have
It
noticed
could.
a rise in Fafnir plays recently, so it's interesting to see him ban second round. And then you're going to see a Geb and Artail ban following that. Just a lot of solid supports right now that people are definitely don't want to be dealing with in these types of games, these team-oriented games.
Yeah, so going back to the stat sheet for this league, Fafnir is yet to be picked or banned, so this is the first time a team has chosen to ban him out.
His usage has been going up in the SPL, though, so that could be something that they were looking at, not really wanting to deal with.
As we're seeing a long sort of wait. I know they've got a lot of time in this mode just to sort of think about their picks, but would you be picking your solo laner here, or would you be trying to pick your ADC?
Personally, I would just get the ADC. I don't think you really need to worry about counter matchups too much. I think counter picking in the solo lane is a little bit more important because we still don't know exactly where that Achilles is going, but looks like Vamana's going to get locked in for Team Tribal, correct? And
yeah, that's Tribal.
Loki for the bots.
I don't think that Loki will get locked in, so don't worry about it.
As well.
But
now we're showing
Terra is
good, which seems like a much solider pick. That seems, way better pick.
So
he was showing that Diamond Loki skin.
So 2 supports that can bring out a lot of CC. Who do you think sort of has the upper hand between like the Kumba Mez or the Terra and all her sort of stuns?
I would have to give the early game definitely to the Kumba. I think he offers a lot more aggression and pressure in the early game. Terra kind of needs to hit those abilities. She needs to get those abilities online. Before she's level 3, she really doesn't offer nearly as much as Kumba. But once she starts getting later and later into the game, I think that ult in a team fight, along with the Hunbat's ult, is basically an execute. It could actually be used very effectively. So I would say in the early game, you have that Kumba, and in the late game, I'd give it to Terra.
Yeah, as we see Hachiman locked in for medium bots. So Tribal Gaming, just who do they want to play against the Hachiman here? Do we see a Jingwei just come out? Because Jaybird is extremely good on Jingwei.
Very good. Yeah, I think a Jingwei would be very good. Having just a very safe hunter that can just make it to deal with the lane on her own, not have to worry too much about healing. And that's exactly what happens. Wow. Good, good
We called it.
prediction. Good predictions. Now we see all the trades. All of the trades. Now, pull up the sheet, make sure everyone's playing exactly what I think they're playing.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
Penguin has played that Achilles before. I know he played it in a game versus Get Paper Scissors, and he actually went 6-1. So we have seen Penguin on Achilles for sure have some great success. So that could be definitely interesting going forward in this game.
Yeah, looking forward to sort of it. It's interesting. I don't think anyone's sort of outdrafted each other. I think both teams have a lot of setup, and it's just who can get that setup off first and get the kills, or who can bait out the setup from the other team and then sort of collapse on them.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. These teams are very well drafted, both teams. I don't really think there's a weak draft. For my personal preference, I prefer the bots draft, I think. I just really like the way Terra and Humbats interact with each other, and I think Achilles is extremely strong right now. But I can't really say that one draft is better than the other. I think this could be a very close game.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting to see sort of in the later team fights if they can use Achilles ult to sort of its maximum potential, the Fatal Strike, and really 30% execute people. But with only really the Jingwei and the Vimana with escapes, there's also quite a potential for that to actually happen.
Definitely. There is a interesting mechanic, though. I believe if Achilles executes Kumba and his passive up, he actually drops into passive, right?
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure,
I
but
might be wrong,
but I
but
believe
I want to say that's
when
how
he
that
gets
happens,
taken
and
up
it's
by an
really
Ao
weird.
Kwang ult, he goes into passive. So I would imagine with Achilles and an execute, it would be the same sort of
So
interaction.
Kumba definitely needs to make sure that he is blocking those executes. That's a extremely useful thing he can do. Even if he's low HP, won't have to worry too much. So
Well, as long as that
we could
passive
definitely
is
see
up.
some good counter. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's quite a long cooldown on that Kumba passive, which is sleepy. Yeah. So we're just literally waiting to go into game now, about 30 seconds
Yeah.
away.
We have to wait for our delay, the spectator delay. So I'm interested to see, because of the comp that is drafted by Tribal, I could definitely see a potential invade here. I think Neja is extremely good at this, as well as Famana or Kumba if they wanted to. They have an extremely safe hunter in Jingwei that they could always send over to duo lane on her own. So I'll definitely be interested to see how these teams decide to start their games out. And I think early game is going to be very important between these two teams because they match up so well late game. If one team gets a lead, it could definitely be detrimental to the other team.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see if Hachiman rushes into lifesteal or if they think their duo lane's going to be together for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If he just relies on Hera sort of healing him to keep him sort of in that lane boxing. As we just get into game now. Is your loaded up at route at the same time or a bit slower?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, as all the players finally connecting, you can start sorting out the screen a little bit. So, first sort of thing to pick up on is Naja has gone Blink rather than Beads for safety. And
Yeah, I think that's. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I sort of tell a lie. The first thing to pick up is to notice Silla's gone into tier 2 Bankross and a Blink. So I'm going to focus on mid in this early game because I'm expecting a very early kill here.
I think something also interesting to notice is Terra going for the Warrior's Bless instead of the Guardian's Bless. That's interesting. Not something you see very often coming out of the duo lane. It looks like she might just want to fight. I mean, she has those extra protections, an extra bit of sustain. This could be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting pick, and it might have allowed them to sort of fight early if that Kumba did try and go for that invade, as you were suggesting in the sort of pre-game. If Jingwei was caught out of position, because I don't believe she'll go for her dash till 3. Or is it 2? I'm not sure quite on the ordering of Jingwei.
Looks like duo lane's having a big old jump party. Showing a little bit of respect. They're not hitting each other. They're just kind of waiting for the game to start naturally. Very interesting.
Okay, I will say that is a mistake on Tribal's side. Because although it's a jump party, if they haven't noticed that Terra's got a freaking Warrior's Blessing she's trying to stack, that is a bit of a misplay.
Yeah, I mean, good sportsmanship, but interesting play for sure.
Scylla just misses the Sikkim.
Yeah, moving over back to mid lane. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of pressure coming out from the Scylla. That T2 Bancrofts. I'm curious to know if Hera has noticed the blink pickup yet. That could definitely give a very sneaky kill early.
As duo lane just sort of poke each other out at the moment, but this should be a red buff invade as the slash from Larger just poking out Scylla about half HP, but with Bancroft that will heal up. The issue for Scylla at the moment, I believe, would be mana, because not having that Mage's Blessing to really get mana back, and only, well, I would say only having 1 mana potion, but it's already been popped. But this could be a very early duo gunk.
This could be a very early duo kill. Terra had to force the metal ready.
Scylla and Humbat's rotating from behind.
The blink from Scylla. That's a dead Kumba.
That is a dead Kumba, and Jingwei should be able to get away, given if the pathing is right, or will Scylla find the Sikkim? Humbats does jump in. The Sikkim is good, and that should be a kill.
Rush, and it looks like we're going to get another kill.
On the Naja,
onto Gilly.
So 3 very early kills.
That was, yeah, some very early plays. The blink Scylla, I was not prepared for all that. The blink Scylla coming out, getting a very early pick.
So, although I was saying there may be a bit of mana worries for this Scylla in the early game, the fact she's picked up 1 kill, got 2 assists, that's really going to help her out when she backs. And I believe about 150 gold short of where she wants to be, because I imagine she'll just rush Bancroft's Talon and not even go for boots at this stage.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think just getting that Bancroft's online will definitely be a very big power spike. Absolutely massive amounts of power plus lifesteal. And you mentioned the mana problems. Yeah, they will lose mana sustain, but they do also get that additional just mana added to their pool to kind of help out with that too.
As the duo lane just poking out the window.
I find it interesting that the support actually has her Warrior's Blessing
stacked. I was about to say that in 3 minutes the support has the Warrior's Blessing fully stacked.
Kumba having a shell Jingwei. Gilly's looking for a kill. Could get a kill here.
Yep.
And yes, able to snipe. Or I'm sorry, drop the 2. Drop that banner.
Yep, the Heavenly Banner along with the dash to close the distance.
Very good play. Kumba made sure to be there to body block the auto attacks, but you can't do much about the Heavenly Banner. Moving over to solo lane, we're mostly just seeing stalemate for the most part. Mana seems to have slightly more pressure than Achilles.
Achilles has hit 5 first, but the mana's pretty much full health, so this isn't going to really lead to too much.
Neither character has too much mana to just be dishing out here either.
But interesting to know, the mana having 3 health pots still stacked and 4 health pots, and Achilles only having 1 mana pot, so that lane could go into the mana's favour very quickly.
Looking back over, let's see. Oh, I thought, looked like Humbats and Scylla were thinking about making some kind of play, ended up going against it. I think At this point, they just need to focus on pushing a gold lead. They have 4 kills up, but they're only ahead about 500 gold. I think they could definitely look to either get another kill or maybe try and find some camps spawning soon to try and push the lead a little bit.
Naja needs to be careful about rotating into mid. There are wards there. Scylla using her free to go in, gets the Sikkim.
Oh, minions ended up killing the Neja, but Scylla had already ulted anyway. But that is 1 kill on the Scylla. One more kill for the Scylla, I'm sorry, I mean.
Yeah, you're fine, as Humbat is rotating into the duo lane right now. Well, he's got an ult up, so this could spell trouble for them. They managed to pick up the Kumba.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Humbat's ult was used, but I don't think it was used in that fight, so I'm not sure when that got used up.
No, it did.
Was it? I just...
Terra ulted and then Humbat's ulted, as well as Hachi at the same time, to instantly proc the Terra ult.
So I totally just missed the visual, that's my bad.
Yeah. Interesting that the bots is just looking to back here. I thought they would have attempted to check some jungle buffs, check some timers, but they just decided to back after that.
Well, 1 second, Scylla's in trouble, having to dash away. Argus is chasing.
Oh, and the blink!
The blink just to save her from the Argus, but is she going to stay and try and clear this wave, or will she back to bit safety? She's not got boots online, so any chase will be good, as Kumba is wrapping sort of around.
Kumba is looking. He has ultimate. Yes, okay. He does.
Still making the right call and just going a bit further away from the Kumba.
I'm not sure if the blink was necessary, but hey, better safe than sorry.
100%. You were mentioning about jungle timers. Medium bots at the moment have a lot of wards around that red buff, and I'm not sure they're too worried about purple buff at the moment. So
they definitely have it warded. I could definitely see them looking to invade that as soon as it spawns, if they haven't been already. Which, no, Hera has red buff, so they have not yet. But they are definitely looking for a potential Gold Fury setup or a potential red buff. And in the solo lane, I totally missed it.
Yeah.
Achilles got gang.
Naja, I think, might have been used to confirm it, but...
weird predicament right now.
He's got an ult if he desperately needs to get out, so I'm not expecting too much of an issue for him.
And in the mid lane, Scylla was Kumba ulted, but she's able to just use her ward to get herself out of there.
And she should be able to pretty much heal up off this
Hera
red buff.
is looking to solo Xingwei in the enemy purple buff, unable to get the steal, but got Xingwei to below half health. This is an interesting game for sure.
Terra with 6 assists.
Terra's looking for this solo kill. She wants it.
As much as I really like the aggression out on the Jingwei can really get back to lane with her passive a lot quicker, so it's not the most beneficial thing to get the Jingwei lower.
I definitely agree with you on there. I feel like Terra definitely should probably be looking to rotate mid here. Kumba definitely seems to want to be in mid, and it's putting a lot of pressure on Scylla.
I was going to say ADC's about the same level at the moment, so even if Terra has been splitting those XP waves, it's not really, I guess the 2 kills in the Hatchman's favour is kind of keeping them on par.
Just to look a little bit on builds really quick while we have a little downtime. Oh, I say that. Scylla's looking to make a kill on Kumba. That's half Kumba's health. Kumba ult down. A little bit of miscommunication. Looks like Hunbots went onto the
but Kumba should still fall.
Oh. Neja ult down. Big miss. Kumba able to get confirmed.
Hachiman incoming.
Hunbots and Terra and Hachima clean up.
Yep, and they managed to save their Hunbats as well. That was a really good play by Scylla, throwing down her crush ability just around the Kumba, allowing Hunbats just to auto him with a bit of safety.
My tongue is all wrapped around my words today. Hachima with a big dash stun. I can't speak today.
Okay, I'll go to the duo fight. I was just watching Terra dive the T1 tower, see if she can poke out Hera.
Interesting fight looking over here in duo. Both ADCs are just going all in into each other. They both got each other to half. Looks like Jingwei came out a little bit on top in that exchange.
Jingwei may have come out on top, but Hachiman has got the lifesteal advantage at this stage.
Oh, big stun coming out from Hachi. He's got the beads.
Hachi needs to be careful. I think he is taking minion damage, but he does manage to get the kill on the Jingwei anyway. Naja is rotating to clear up. The blink
Ja
should be
definitely looks like
online.
he wants
Yep.
to kill. There's
The
the blink,
sash.
and he doesn't go for the ult. He actually
Wait.
might have just baited the beads.
Naja ult was down, so that's
Oh,
as long as Naja can get out, that's a win. Knowing that his ult's gonna come up.
oh,
I
but
don't.
even without the bots there, Terra's there to cut him off just in case. Really good rotation there from Humbots and Terra to counter that Neja's gank.
Yep. But Naja, soon as he respawns, I would imagine be going straight, well, speed buff, and then towards that duo lane, knowing those beats are currently down. So I'm just going to try and ask a question on the Hatchman build. It's not something I've seen. Devo's rush. Generally, you do see a Hunter's Blessing and Devos. I've never seen the Devo rush.
I've seen it, usually on gods such as Jingwei, who can basically back after wave 1 and already have Devos stacking. So it's definitely interesting. It confirms stacks. It is higher ability damage, but you do lose out on auto attack damage. So it's definitely interesting, but it seems to be working out for him. So it makes, you know, if it works, it works, right? Who am I to question? Yeah. Terra looking for some big poke on Akumba here. Don't know if it's a very good play. Nejan's able to miss the sash though, so Terra just gets free poke on Goomba.
I imagine Kumba's passive is actually down for the moment. Got no way to tell, so there's literally no way to tell on this screen. The mana in the solo lane, we've not really spoken about them much, apart from the kill we missed from the gank, but
Humbots and Neja in the left jungle right now. Humbots was winning, but Neja pulled him up. Humbots with a big AA cancel into his 2. And a lot going on in mid right now too.
Yeah, I was
no
watching the
HP
mana rotating.
Terra wants him. I think they can turn on this.
I
big
think they can.
Okay, yeah. You were 100% correct. Oh, the fight's still going. Kumba came back in. Oh no!
So
looks like he's able to get out. The mana's still in there. I don't know if the mana wants to stay here, but no, yeah, he's gonna get out as well.
I think he gets stunned out, so
not letting him leave.
He should get on the tower though. That should be fine.
This fight should be over at this point.
His wave is getting proxied by the Achilles.
Right with your call. Again, Vamana comes back in.
Yeah, he's going to lose his T1 here.
He's definitely trying to hold the T1. But yeah, exactly what you said was going to happen in pregame. Humbats got his ult off, Terra got her ult off, and Scylla got a free ult because of the Humbats ult, and 100% won them that fight. Very good play. Meanwhile, in the solo lane, Achilles was able to split push a tower, so big wins coming out from bots right now.
When the mana rotated, his teleport was down, so he had no way to get back to that T1 in solo to save it, as Kumba is looking to rotate possibly on the Hachiman, but should get zoned out by the Terra here.
Ooh, Hachima dashed in. This could be a bad situation, but actually no, Hachima's just dealing so much damage. He has that full stacked Devos versus the only 20 stacks of the Jingwei, and he is just absolutely chunking.
Jingwei got a bit lucky in that fight, using the beads to stop the Hachiman stun, and Terra, I think that's maybe half a second too early, because the beads were still up for that root.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, and because Terra missed the root, she was also able to. She also missed her stun. That definitely could have gone bad for Jing.
A bit fortunate there, but I guess if you're tribal, you need any game.
Online. Hachi's basically unkillable now. They really are going to have to all in him if they want him down. Gilly has Devos plus Asi. That is just, I think, 44% lifesteal without Asi's passive. It's just absolutely insane.
You say all in, but I think
they're
just on Kumba, just I think creating some separation here. I don't think he's going to come for this.
Well, he was able to pull solo ult. He had to trade his ult for it. So that was definitely interesting. Terra looking at Jingwei again in the duo lane.
And
maybe changed your mind, changed your focus to Gold Fury. I don't really know if Tribal can contest this either. Big dash stun coming out from Hachima. Jingwei has to ult out. Hachi's able to snipe her with his ult. Oh wow, Gilly, that was a really crazy play. I don't know if you caught all that.
No, I
that
was following Gold Fury just to see if anyone would contest it.
That was an extremely well played fight by Gilly. Got a dash stun into the Hachi ult. Jingwei tried to ult away, and Gilly was able to flick the Hachi ult at the last second to confirm the kill.
Vamana getting the T1 in solo just as a bit of combat, but it looks like Hachi's going to get this T1 in duo before anyone can really stop him. But what I was going to point out, Tribal have only placed 6 wards at the moment, and 5 of them have been placed by Kumba.
That definitely is not helping them. I've seen a lot of rotations from Ashe and Angel, the Terra. A lot of rotations as well from Truth on the bots. So I think definitely some ward coverage could really help them anticipate some of these ganks that have been happening.
Yeah.
A lot of these fights, they were seemed completely unprepared for. And if you're not warding, how are you going to be prepared for the fights?
As Humbat was doing Pyromancer, and
like you said, though, no ward coverage, so no one even knew it was happening.
I don't know if Terra's out of position or she's just that confident that she can do a 2v1 fight at this stage.
Honestly, she's got full gauntlet. She's got full warriors. I think she's just that confident. I don't really think the Hera with cooldown boots is really going to do too much to her. Her health bar does not seem to be moving at all. She is just happily 1v3 right now. She's going in on all 3. She got a big ult and a root off, and there's the Scylla ult coming out.
Just off, but Kumba should still fall unless Naja can
the beads on the Neja ult coming out, so that's Neja ult down as well. Vamana's trying to make something out of this fight. Achilles in with the cursed on. Might be a bit late. Let's see if Achilles can get some executes going.
No, I think they'll just look to get the tower and possibly look towards Fire Giant.
I think that's the right call, 100%. Achilles is just there to zone them out, make sure they don't.
Okay, looks like they're going to push down the T2 instead.
Yeah, they want a T2. That teleport is actually big. This could be a death sentence. Yeah. There's the big stun. There's the Scylla crush. Vamana actually able to dash out. He didn't take much damage at all. Quite hanky on his part. Oh, big Kumba ult onto the Hachima. Hachi beats down. Hachi Aegis down. Vamana's going to look to try and stick to this. Big Terra stun coming out. And there's a Scylla crush. Terra's rooting. Looks like Hachima's out. There's just going to sash in, though. This could definitely turn bad. Schrodinger! Oh my god!
And that was Naja blinked to close the distance early in that fight as well.
Naja got a little bit too aggressive, did not have his team to back him up there, and Scylla made him pay for that.
Speaking of too aggressive, Kumba.
Yeah, Kumba's making himself be a very big target right now. There's the bot's ult to confirm the Hera and Achilles
the Kumba as well.
Kumba. Again, this fight, I don't know if they want to take this mid-fight. I'm not sure if Tribal is, if this fight's in their best interest. Anyway, is full, but that Humbots is also.
No, and that tower, maybe about 400 HP at the moment. Don't know if it's worth fully defending.
Truth has a 6-level lead on Chief in jungle.
Yep, that Naja's really... I think Tribal Game have been behind since that early gank where it was like they went 3-0. They've managed to pick up 1 kill on that Naja. But I think they're taking fights when they're behind, and just medium bots have everything up to deal with those fights right now.
Meanwhile, in solo lane, looks like the Humbots and Achilles might have been a little bit too aggressive. Achilles is going to have to ult out here. I think that's just for safety.
Again, I don't think there's really any kill potential even in that stage where they're pushing into the T2.
Jingwei is going to get some split pushes off as Hachi tries to take the T2 in mid. But yeah, as you were saying, the XP and gold difference. XP difference is 9K, almost 9K as well in the gold difference as well after taking that T2 tower.
Yeah.
It is quite a vast distance between these two teams at this point.
I think Jingwei could be in trouble if they... No, she will probably back before they get there.
Terra is casually 1v3ing in the mid lane again. Again, extremely confident on Ashen's part.
Golf Fury
they really
need to spawn as well.
Penetration online. This Terra has been just terrorizing their team this entire game. Big Tara coming out. She is by herself, but there's the Humbats coming in. Neja picked Tara up, but Humbats is there to back her up. Looks like he's going to get himself out. I think Tara's going to want to get out as well.
Yep. And they've got Argus out as well in that fight, as a big Scylla ult comes out, hits the Vimana. The Vimana will ult and try his best to heal up as best he can right now.
There is no anti-heal currently coming out from bot, so it looks like Vimana actually barely made it out. I thought he was going to heal way more than he did. Achilles still looking to pressure here.
As in the meantime,
Humbats just jumped onto the Neja, onto the speed buff. This could be bad, and Chief's just trying to do his own speed buff, and I think Truth might have hurt him, and was not going to let that happen.
right, in the meantime, during all that fight, Hatchman soloed the Gold Fury, so that was a Primal Fury going to the sides of medium bot, and it looks like he will push down this T2 tower in the left lane.
This T2 push might be a bit aggressive. Looks like Achilles is going to be backing Souls on the other side of the map. Doesn't look like Tribal's going to put up too much contestants here. Only the duo lane coming over to contest.
And Kumbra rushing into that Emperor's, because at this stage of the game they are pretty much going to be defending every tower. So I
think
do
that's
like that
actually a very
pickup.
good pickup. Yeah, I definitely like that pickup a lot. Oh, big Humbats ult coming out. That's Beats and Aegis off Xingwei. And the
Still not
Hydra's
enough.
auto. So strong.
Truth.
But can bots get away from the Argus? It does not look
No.
likely. Hera's able to get up the second kill of the game for Tribal, putting Tribal on the board.
Goodness, like, this could be a 2-on-1 fight, but I still would take this Hatchman over a Kumbra at this stage.
Just kind of looking at builds now. We haven't got to talk about him too much this game. But Achilles, interesting. He is just stacking HP. He has the Gaia because of the knockup coming out of the Vimana. So actually a really smart laning item. And looks like the game is paused.
Yep, I think that maybe an accidental pause, as it was quite short, but maybe not.
Okay, I think they're having issues. Sometimes if you hit F10 more than once, it'll pause and unpause. But yeah, we can take this minute and kind of look at builds, see how that's going. Terra's going a ring.
I would imagine that might be a Shaman's Ring just to give a bit more movement speed. But if we really want to talk about builds, this Humbat's currently 11th, 1 and 6.
And it looks like that's who DC'd, actually. It looks like Truth might be having some kind of internet issues. Hopefully he's able to get back in here. Definitely wouldn't want to have to throw a game like this away.
No, especially when they've got a really commanding lead at the moment. But I believe all teams in this league have quite a lot of pause time, so if they need it, it's available to them. So this Naja, I'm very surprised, currently going 1 for 8, but deciding to still opt in to crit as his third item, being what is that? My maths is terrible at the moment. That's 7 levels, 8 levels, 6 levels down.
Yeah, that's 6 levels down currently. Quite a big difference. Again, like you said, kind of surprising going for crit, and particularly going for rage. I feel like in order for rage to work, game looks like it's unpaused. Truth, yeah. I believe, is reconnected. So
yeah, just another death timer.
Yes, yeah. All right, so hopefully that all works out. Kumba had just ulted Achilles, just trying to maybe.
I think it's separation at this stage, but Scylla Sikkim hitting 2 of them. The ult is up, going for the Kumba, but.
Ooh, Achilles got his execute blocked by the Vimana in ult. Now Kumba's passive has been procced. That's going to be kind of hard to get those autos off.
Yep, and he
had
up.
1 left, but he was able to just barely get out.
As Naja trying to solo Scylla in the jungle, but this could be close. And nope, Scylla just picks it up. Those abilities just coming off cooldown.
Looks like Scylla is out here. They're not going to try and chase any further. Back in the mid lane, though, looks like Gilly and Penguin were looking to be a little bit aggressive.
Okay.
Tribal not going to let that happen. Just playing really safe.
Was going to point out the T2 in the left lane, but Jingwei rotating, managing to pick up this big wave that was forming.
Looks like they're going to be setting up for fire. They
I was
have
going to
really
say,
strong ward coverage on the side of boss, so I think this is a really good call.
yep, if Jingwei's just pinged in that left lane, this should be absolutely free. So, 100% right to start it.
I think right now, for Tribal to get back in this, I think they really need to prioritize penetration. I feel like Angel on Terra is just an absolute nuisance that no one is able to kill. Same thing with Achilles. He just has full HP, doesn't even have that much protections. But since it looks like Tribal's really lacking in penetration, and it's definitely showing, they're really struggling to kill these just massive tanks.
Yep. So, I think they're doing the right thing, just trying to push up what they can, but I think it's going to be a load of Phoenix defenses. They have got that Empress to give them a little bit of extra, but it's still going to be quite tough for them at this stage of the game.
Well, at this point, Truth cannot get any levels higher, neither can Schrodinger or Gilly, so that's a big plus. They can only get more items, their abilities base damages will not go up anymore.
Their abilities won't go up, but the items they can get will go up if they somehow die in this fight. So it looks like we've got 4 grouping up on this left lane. Achilles solo pushing that right lane.
I think that's actually a really good idea. I think Terra's going in big.
Terra's quite low on health.
Doesn't have a lot of follow-up. Doesn't have a lot of follow-up at all. Looks like she might be dead here in the next round.
Oh, nausea. Oh.
This is still a ult.
That is the one problem picking a Naja into Scylla. Like, if Naja's on your team, you can set up that Scylla ult from the Naja. If Naja's on the enemy team, you can set up that Scylla ult from that Naja.
I have no words for that. Oh, my game crashed. No!
Humbat is sort of diving the back line, trying to get the Hera. Hera having to use her protections, but the Phoenix will fall, Hera will fall as they look towards this mid lane. There is a huge group of minions stacking up in that right lane at the moment. So, will they back off or will they try and push down another Phoenix?
Just kind of reanalyzing that fight from what I remember in my head. Scylla just had that massive ult onto the Neja, who I mean, I think Neja made the right play, ulting the Terra who was low.
Yep.
Just really unfortunate circumstances happened.
I also think Terra got away just about. I can't remember if Terra fell there. No, because Naja didn't pick up a kill, so I think Terra just got out of that, but it was the right play. But unfortunately, I think even still 100% in Naja in that fight. Just that Naja comes down, the I'm a monster. Just is too much damage.
Scylla was able to hit 2 more players with the I'm a monster, so that was really huge.
Yeah. As Achilles is forced to ult out here, but Jingwei might be able to pick up a kill as Scylla is I'm a monster, picks up 2. Will she manage to pick up a 3rd? Looking for the Jingwei, just off the mark, but we're dashing anyway. Argus forced out. Has Scylla about 100 HP. 1 hit, can Argus catch up? Yes, Argus can. And as Hachiman is solo in this Gold Fury, I believe this is just the retreat and reset. I think Achilles will try and solo this Pyromancer. And then just once they all respawn, sort of group up and confirm this Fire Giant for them. You able to get back into the game or no?
It's going. It's just taking sweet time.
Interesting to note this sort of stage of the game. I don't know whether it's because medium bots are so far in the lead, they feel comfortable about this. There is not a single ward placed on the map at 26 minutes in the game.
That is definitely interesting. I think medium bots might be getting a little cocky here. They have a massive lead, but I definitely think they need to keep their ward coverage up. They were doing very good with it in the early game, and I'd hate to see them start slacking on it now.
So Tribal put a couple of wards down for that Phoenix defense. Medium bots one sort of just to the right of the mid lane, but nothing currently on Fire Giant. Naja takes Truth up in the air, but the Humbat's ult comes down immediately after. Naja trying to get away, about 300 HP, and we'll go back to tower. Don't know if we'll see a siege on this mid Phoenix, or they will just drop and grab this fire giant which is about to spawn. I believe fire is the call.
Does not seem to want to let me.
It's okay.
Just failed.
Seems to be a very uncontested fire, which is fair enough. Naja just pushing up the left lane, trying to push those fire minions back as far as possible. That Phoenix close to respawning. As medium bots group up around the mid lane and begin to siege.
I am queuing back into my spectate.
Terra just going under Terra. Argus does come out, trying to zone out that Hatchman. Hatchman beads had to be used to get away from the Kumba. As Achilles does pick up the Jingwei in the background, Humbat's ult used as well to zone them out.
Romano doing a really good job at keeping Terra and Scylla out of that fight for a while.
As Silicon is... Oh my god. That poor Naja. As Phoenix, this middle Phoenix will fall, and I think this will probably be a siege to the end as they dive into Fountain to get these final couple of kills, but turn their attention to the Titan. I believe this will be game.
Well, I think number one thing I want to see coming out of the game too, I think Chief, you just gotta let it. You just gotta let it go. You know what? You had a bad game. It happens. You just gotta let it go. You know, focus on the next game. I really hope that they're able to, you know, reassess what their mistakes were, and yeah, we'll hopefully see Tribal come out. I want to see them coming out fighting. I want to see them coming out like 100 miles an hour. Go, go, go.
Yep, 100%.
But as for that game, I mean, Truth on the bots was just so well organized with Ashen on the Hera. Their ults were almost simultaneous for the entire early stage of the game, and it really showed. They just had so much control in fights. It was absolutely amazing. And then those Scylla ults, just so many perfect Scylla ults were just winning fights. Almost every fight, like every real decisive fight, felt like it was won with a Scylla ult. It was just absolutely amazing. Medium boss
Yeah,
was extremely well.
100%. So we look towards the end of the game. I do want to point out for Tribal, both their jungler and ADC Jaybird, we spoke his praise at the start of the game, going 1 and 7. Their jungler Chief going 1 and 12, both not picking up a single ward in that 30-minute game.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate to see. Like I said, you know, I think they need to assess what went wrong in this first game and just kind of move on, focus on the next game. You can't really, you know, if you get your head stuck in this negative mindset after one tough loss, it can really affect you going forward. But that's something that I really hope they notice. I hope they notice that they didn't place any wards, and I hope they remember to do it in the next game.
Yep, 100%. So for the next game, are you looking to ban out the Scylla, or do you think the Isis ban was still the right call at the start of that game?
I don't know. That Scylla was looking really, really strong, but also that Hun-Bots pick. And not so much just the Hun-Bots pick, but honestly, the Terra pick was very strong as well. That's a tough one. I feel like everyone on bots played very, very well. You know, the solo lane was kind of a stalemate. Nothing too advanced happened. But even, you know, late game, Penguin was able to zone and deal lots of damage. So that's I don't know. That's a tough banning phase. I think that's going to be tough to ban out.
Yeah, but presuming the solo laner, as we've gone into picks and bans for game 2 already. So these teams obviously ready to go at it again. So I need to change around the team names. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Tribal allow Arthur to go through here and just try and play a very safe solo lane and maybe lose a couple of levels, but don't lose your lane?
It's definitely a possibility that it could happen. Personally, I don't even know if I would. I really don't know what I would do after that last game. There's a lot of things that went wrong, and I don't know if their draft was necessarily the problem.
No, we were speaking at the start of the game. I think the draft pick for both teams were extremely good. It's just medium bots just executed everything perfectly.
So you definitely see the Achilles band coming out. So whether or not we thought Penguin was the top fragger, it looks like
they don't want to deal with it either way.
They don't want to deal with it again. They definitely did not like it, and they don't want to see it coming out this game. Arthur band coming out, pretty standard. Nothing too special. Bakasura band, that's interesting. I'm a bit confused by that.
So maybe they've got plans of... Okay, that throws those plans out the window.
I feel like they were trying to get the X-Ball through there.
I thought maybe if they're banning the Bakasura, they want the Humbats in the first pick, and they don't want to give another jungler 2 medium bots, but this pretty much leaves Humbats, Terra, Scylla still all open.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. But, you know, I think X-Ball is definitely a good pick. I think Jublanque is extremely good in lane, extremely good late game with his ultimate. You're seeing a Susano pick to follow up the X-Ball. I think Susan's good. I think he brings a lot of control to team fights late game. Very similar to the Hunbats, actually. You know, that massive knock-up, the displacement in the two. Definitely a very good pick. And Gilly's going to rock a Pernobog, it looks like.
Again, that's a good character. It's not really been picked up too much, but I do like the global pressure that ult does bring out, that you can just turn a team fight, run across the rest of the map, help your team, or even use it as an escape.
I'm very interested to see this play out. I have not seen Chernobog played in a while, and I'm interested to see how that matches up with the Xbalanque.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see where these sort of teams go, and it will be the Chernobog locked in. So, again, picking the Hera, but they do get the Humbats this time.
You know, they felt like they performed well enough on the Hera to run it back again. I think that's fine. You know, Hera's an extremely good god right now. I think she offers a lot to the team. And getting that Humbats, it's interesting. We already know that Truth is probably going to be running the Susano in the jungle. So, you know, maybe they just really wanted the Humbats. I think Humbats is good. We talked about how much Humbats was bringing ever since his buffs, and it looks like Tribal sees his worth, and they definitely wanted to get it themselves.
So, I don't know if I want to see a Scylla pick up here, or I want to see an Isis pick up.
Personally, I still think the Scylla is the better pick. I think Humbats has a little bit more difficulty sticking to Scylla. I think Scylla having the CC immune ult for the Xbalanque ult is also a good idea. Showing a Giannis, this could be interesting.
Yeah, could be interesting.
That's a lot of global pressure if they go with it between the Chernobog and the Giannis.
So yeah, I was going to say at this stage, I think you pick up your mid laner, but if you weren't planning to pick up Scylla or Isis, I think you pick up maybe your support at this stage, because I've got a feeling Tribal Game probably would have banned out the Scylla at least, and possibly the Isis from that first game.
I agree. Kind of baiting out some bans could have definitely been a good move. They ended up going with an Agni. I mean, Agni has a crazy amount of damage. His mid game, probably one of the strongest of most mages right now. And he does have a pretty decent escape in his dash. Some setup for himself with a stun. So it's a strong pick, but I do think, yeah, like you said, picking a support right there, maybe baiting out some bans of mages would have been a good idea as well.
Maybe they're just sort of happy to match counterpick for counterpick. They don't want to show their support. They don't want to show their solo lane. But I would have much preferred the counter pick route, as I think that was a Ganesh ban on the side of medium
There's
bots.
a Ganesh ban and a Fafnir ban. Again, Fafnir, they really dislike Fafnir. Tribal really values the Fafnir. It's the second game in a row they ban at second phase. So
Yeah, again, a very strong Guardian, but I don't think he's necessarily top pick unless they've already got sort of two auto attack characters, which I guess Susanoo and Chernobog are, but they really use their abilities to poke out that damage rather than just relying on those auto attacks.
well, then you're seeing the Geb bans and the Bacchus bans follow up. Those are much more common. That's like what I would have expected to see banned. So you're seeing some flavor bans, but you're also seeing your standard bans going along with it. And now Penguin was showing Jormungandr now switching over to a Bellona.
In all the games I've seen, John's been very strong, but also in all the games I've seen Bellona be very strong. And I've even seen Bellona played in that ADC lane, and she absolutely annihilated Arama.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. So I'm going to assume that Bellona is in the solo lane.
Yeah. So Bellona currently in this league. This is her second time being picked up. She won her first game, but has been banned out 4 times. And
And
Khepri is an interesting one to be hovering over here.
I agree. I think it's very interesting. Um, I believe the idea is you're going to have this Hunbats just going in crazy diving and just having that safety net, having that Kepriel in case it go things turn bad for Hunbats can be extremely helpful, and it kind of lets Hunbats play a lot more freely and aggressively than he might normally have to play. Not having to worry about dying is
Or,
definitely an
or even
advantage in
that
this fight.
sort of Shiver Long Cave, you want to ult him and then he can dash in and try and do as much damage as possible under a tower, knowing that the tower's probably going to kill him and he can just run away to safety.
No, that's definitely a good idea as well.
But Khepri has yet to be picked up. Jorm gets picked up, I imagine, for the solo laner, and Khepri is locked in as well.
And as you were saying, Jormungandr has been performing pretty well in general. I think a lot of people underestimated him when he was first released, and after a while, people start learning a lot of different things you can do with him, and he's become a pretty common solo laner. And you can look at a potential RTO pick as the in return, and it's locked in. Yeah, that's a super strong pick. But I'm definitely interested to see Jorm. Last time I casted, I saw Jormungandr. It was amazing. He proxied the Phoenix. I'm hoping to see some cool stats coming out again this time.
So yeah, I think chat is excited to see the Girthworm in action here.
It definitely seems that way. Personally, I think I might prefer a Tribals team comp a little bit this time. I think I'm kind of interested to see the Humbats play along with the Gibalanke. I think those two ultimates can be extremely detrimental, and then not being able to see the Jormungandr incoming could definitely make for some extremely interesting team fight.
Yeah, but that Jorm and his sort of knockup, it doesn't really play or synergize with anyone in particular on his team. So I understand sort of the Humbats pick because it's a very good ultimate, but maybe even in a Willix pick here, because I do believe that Hera's Argus does do a little knockup at the start if it hits an enemy.
Yes, yes. The first, if the initial damage of Argus is a knockup, I think that could have been I think that definitely could have worked, but at the same time, I think Combats is just a better pick overall. I think he has better, he has better jungle clear. I think he has a little bit better gank potential. I feel like a Wheelix would be a decent pick for sure, but after seeing that Humbats game last time, I definitely understand why they would want to just nab that really quick.
Yeah, 100%. As we sort of wait to go into game.
Looks like Penguin is surprised to see Jormungandr picked up as well. So going into this game, as we were saying earlier, I definitely hope to see tribal warding a little bit more. I think if they were able to get some wards, some good ward placement around the map, I think it could definitely help out their early game and maybe vent the excessive steamroll that happened in the previous game.
Yeah, sorry, I was just setting up to make sure the next game between Get Paper Scissors and Purple Cobras, the first match is being spectated so we can access it later.
Oh,
But that should
awesome.
all be good. So, yeah. So, do you see the same sort of start, do you think, from this Agni going into a tier 2 Bancroft and a Blink?
I
Or do you think it'll
definitely
be
think
safer?
that's possible. I think that if anyone can do it, I think Agni is the best god. I think Agni and Isis are probably the best gods to do a T2 Bancroft start. Um, as for the blink, I don't know. That was definitely a spicy. It definitely worked as a surprise gank and duo last game. I don't know if they can pull off the same surprise 2 games in a row. I don't know if it would be smart to try and repeat a play like that. I think that might have been a one-time thing, and it might not be smart to just completely redo the same strat twice.
No, fair enough. I'm sort of the component, if it worked the first time, why not try it a second time? You can always adjust later in the game if you need to, but
That's definitely an option. Hey, they're up game one. They can make some risky plays. They
yeah,
have they have that one win. They can kind of make some a little bit riskier plays. They don't necessarily need to play it safe.
the size
But
of this worm.
on the same token, Tribal might just try out some. What do they got to lose, right? They already lost game one, so it's time to just go all out, make some crazy plays. Hope everything works out.
So yeah, so do you, at this stage of the game, would you, if you're a tribal, throw out game one out the window and just try again? Or do you think we were outplayed in that first game, let's try something totally different. Let's maybe try and invade on their speed buff. Let's try and put them behind early and try and nullify their early damage.
You could cut there, but I think what you're saying is a little bit. I think it's definitely possible. I think their comp definitely could do some interesting plays like that. You could definitely see like a Humbat to invade, for example, especially against the Susano. I think that could definitely work out. Even seeing Jormungandr trying to invade and just kind of throw game a little bit might be might be a good idea. Yes.
Okay, everyone seems to have connected into the game now, and okay, and the countdown's about 40 seconds. Okay, that's good. It's a little bit worried there.
And your microphone has fixed itself. Awesome.
That is even better news.
And again, you're seeing Ashen and Angel going with the Warriors Bless start. It worked last game too. It was extremely effective last game actually. So hey, it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So Agni is picking up the T2 Bancrofts, but he does seem to want to go for the beads this game.
It's a little bit safer.
And not a little bit safer this game than last game.
As I think Kepri's still not moved from the base yet.
That's definitely interesting.
Should still make it to the wave in time, but I think that's just maybe a bit of indecision of what to pick up as his active. He's elected to go into T2 sprint rather than get a level 1 of boots, but I think that's probably a wise move. So.
Based on those pings, it looks like Hunbats might do an interesting start here. Looks like he might do a speed to red to gank duo if they follow through with those pings.
Yep, and it seems like he's doing that immediately.
This could be interesting. They could definitely be looking for some duo lane action. Get that Xbalanque ahead early.
Yep.
See how this works out.
100% like that idea.
Also able to deny the Agni the invade as he was able to outpressure Hera. And he went straight to blue, didn't even check it first, and just shot his flames out at absolutely nothing.
So, yeah, that's interesting. So, I'm more surprised that Agni came, checked this red buff was down, and didn't tell Bologna and Cesano to go invade their blue buff.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely definitely missed there. He definitely could have made some communication there. But
But
there's a big
Humbat's...
blink. Humbots in the duo lane. Looks like he should be able to confirm
Yep.
the Chernobog. Looks like Archeo's gonna be able to get out. That's a big first blood on the side of Tribal.
Yep. But Hera's poked to about 200 HP in mid at the moment. Needs to be a bit careful if Agni decides to dash in and do anything, but staying about her tower line.
Yeah, Agni definitely has a lot of pressure here, but he does have to be careful. The Humbots is
Rotating.
around.
Yep. Artio could be in a bit of trouble if those branching bowlers hit a couple more times, but should be safe.
Yeah, I would believe she'd be safe for the most part. Agni just dashed aggressively and has his dash caught by the polymorph. I feel like Humbots definitely could have made a play there. I think he was a little bit distracted by the mid camps. So
Just confirming
Agni
those mid camps,
was
yeah.
not punished for that aggressive dash.
I think it was okay clearing out the mid camps, but if Agni's just been caught polymorphed in his dash, I think you rotate round the top and try and catch the Agni on the back.
Yeah, I definitely think he could have attempted the rotation. Not sure if he'd have made it in time. I think it might have been worth a shot, though.
Yeah, 100%. Especially as you're already 1 kill up, getting 2 kills up really does give you that early advantage right now.
Duo lane has a lot of pressure on the side of Tribal. Mid lane seems to be losing slightly to the Agni, and solo lane pretty much even as could be. Looks like they're gonna fight over the totem right now.
Yep, and it looks like it will just... I think that goes towards Storm.
It goes to Jorm, it goes to Tribal.
Yep.
This could be a blue buff invade on Susan's part if he's
Oh.
This could be really big.
Will he
Invading
get
Jormungandr's
unlucky?
blue buff.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, he backed just
Poor-
before blue buff
Poor
spawned.
guy.
That could have been very unfortunate for Jormungandr. Oof.
That's just
that was the
purely
tensest moment of
unfortunate.
this game. That was the tensest moment of this game so far. In the mid lane, Agni again really aggressive on the dash and not able to get off too much damage. He is just using a lot of dashes aggressively. I'm curious if Humbots is gonna notice this and start trying to make some counterplays to it. Seems to be dashing aggressively almost every wave. That definitely is something that can be punishable.
So, I was a bit surprised by this Khepri pick, but that Rising Dawn seems to be really helping them out clear in this lane.
Yeah, definitely. Not to mention just the fact that Gibelanke's branching goal was
We do
just
see a Jorm ult in solo.
insane. Oh, that's full beats from the Chernobog there. That's actually really big considering he's a Humbots that is level 5 and does have ultimate.
Humbat's just used his ultimate in the solo lane, trying to clear for the Jorm. Jorm does fall to the Susanoo, but can Humbat kick up
Meanwhile,
anything
Agni's
to follow?
ganking into the mid lane onto Tribal, ganking Tribal in the mid lane.
As Chernobog ult is used, but I think Agni's probably got better dash potential, especially with Chernobog with no mana. I think Agni should get away
Looks
here.
like
Sorry, Shibalonke. Bit tongue-tied.
yeah, Jaybird just barely able to get out. Not so lucky was dual discharge. I'm sorry, what happened in solo lane? I was paying attention to the dual lane fight over here.
Jorm was quite low health. Decided to ult to sort of try and secure the minion wave, but didn't really back out too far. And Susanoo was there just to sort of ult with the Bellona. I don't think Bellona used... I know Bellona did use the ult to sort of pick up the kill on the Jorm as well. Then Humbat's rotated, ulted to try and save the Jorm, but didn't quite manage it.
So Truth able to pick up a kill in the solo lane, where Gilly is getting another kill in the dual lane. Really big plays there from medium bots, getting 2 different kills on 2 different lanes in the map, all within about 15 seconds.
Yeah, but although they're kills and they sort of bring them back into the game, bring them a little bit more level, it's not really anything to look at Gold, Fury or any big objective at. As we do see Susanoo really rotating behind into this duo lane.
Yeah, that's going to be really bad. Kepri's dash is down. There you see in the Gibelanke ult.
Khepri should be good. He's got an ult if he desperately needs it, but Hera has made the rotation as well. Argus is good.
Oh, really big rotation. Argus is good, and that's 1 kill for Just Be Better. And dual discharge is going to pick up the other one.
What a good abduct
Oh,
from
and in the
Kepri.
jungle, Humbats just ulted Susano, who looks like he might be out. Humbats is going to jump in. X-Ball's dashing in as well.
Humbat's blink is good.
Humbats with the blink. Oh, the tick damage, the poison. Gibalanke's poison. Was able to pick that up. Truth, just really unfortunate pathing right there. I don't think he walked over a ward or anything. It's just he happened to run into Humbats when he was trying to path out of the jungle.
Yeah, unfortunate, but I guess the positive side for Truth there, Humbats did blink when he didn't need to, because Gibalanke could have cleaned up the kill on his own.
Small positives.
Very small positives.
Big damage coming out from the Agni. Kepri forcing the Kepri ult. That was a bit too aggressive on the side of Kepri, just standing in those two Agni bombs. I don't think he realized that Bancrofts is up, and Agni will be doing a whole lot of damage right now.
Yep, but it was a 2v1 fight, so I understand sort of why he was there trying to set up that kill, but managing to escape with his life in the end.
Artio is just bullying this backline. Not able to pull any relics or get the red steal, but just absolute bullying them out.
There are very aggressive wards again from medium bots on this map right now.
Yeah, a lot of wards coming out of medium bots. You've seen a few wards on the half of Trival, but not nearly as much. I mean, there are just wards everywhere.
Yep, if we look at wards placement, Kepri with the most wards with 3, but Tribal again, mid jungle ADC yet to pick up any wards and place them. But they are sort of rotating back into lane now with wards in hand, so that could change.
Speaking of wards in hand, when you look at gold in hand, Jormungandr has a lot of gold in hand. He's going to be able to back and almost get a full item in a minute here.
Yeah, about 1800 gold in hand. Possibly waiting. Oh no, not waiting anymore.
Artio could be in a bad spot here in the duo lane. Gibalanke's going to ult, but I don't think he realizes Susano's coming in for the gank. Artio's going to med herself, stun. Beads coming out from X-Ball, trying to confirm the kill.
Does.
He's able to confirm it. The Hunbot is able to badly misses his ult on Susan, and Kepri's going to ult X-Ball just in case.
Sorry, Chernobog ult is in the air. Who really dropped down?
Yeah, I think that was the right play, not sticking with that ult.
I think it was right to use it, but seeing the 3-man group just deciding, nah, don't really want that right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know if he'd have wanted to go in there.
Interesting, the solo lane is picking up 2 counter items to each other.
Agni again looking to be really aggressive here. Got a bomb stun off onto the Kepri. Kepri grabbed him. I don't know if that was the best play here. Can Susan do anything? Looks like his pull was down. He wasn't able to try and confirm that.
Gibalanke is pushed down the tower. Yeah. We'll just
Sheep's just gonna back. Smart play by Jaybird. Not trying to be too greedy. Not gonna stay for one more wave. Just gonna get out while I can.
I was going to say, they really want this blue buff invade on the Jorm here. 2 wards placed around it.
Yeah, it looks that way. Bologna's going to go in on it on her own. No real team backup.
Humbats is rotating over, but he's a bit late to save
He was unable to...
I know, they did secure the blue buff.
Jorm was able to secure it. Bologna actually ulted herself down. So she might be in trouble here, but I don't know if they have enough damage to actually kill her. Doesn't seem like they do. She seems pretty safe to me. That Gaia just ticking away, keeping her really healthy. Making it very difficult to actually take her out.
Yep, proccing on Jorm's knock-up as well is also, but Jorm now looking for a bit of revenge, seeing if he can get the blue buff. Not able to, but should just be able to run away, comes back in.
Humbats is here, but Humbats is completely out of mana. I think they just need,
They need to back off this
Tribal
fight.
just needs to back off of this, and there you go. You see Jorm ulting out. I think that might have been a miscommunication though, because Humbats went back in, and he's gonna get picked up with the Susanoo ultimate. I think he may have thought Jorm was in a
Ulted
bigger
for a bit of
trouble
damage, yeah.
than he was. In the mid lane, Agni's going to get pulled in by the Khepri, but he's just going to take it aggressively and start going in deeper.
But Argus is out.
Argus gets dropped on him. And I think he's safe to his tower now.
Yep. And then in the
Meanwhile,
duo
in the
lane,
dual lane, Jaybird just soloed Gilly. Not sure exactly what went down, but
I think I
he's
caught the
more than
last
half health.
auto.
He is. I'm going to assume here that Transcendence and just straight outboxed. Just traded auto for auto. And Jaybird's going to be doing a lot more damage. Susan's in a very awkward spot here. I don't know if he can get out here.
I think he's doing...
X-Ball's going to get sprinted. The upgraded sprint. Going to
100%.
confirm the kill onto Truth. And RTO's just going to take her
Chen
back.
has ulted in to try and get this return kill, but
Ooh,
this is a
that's very
3-level
interesting.
difference.
I think there might have been miscommunication there because RTO had just backed just
And
underneath.
they got Chen's
X-Ball.
bees out for nothing either. So,
Oh,
Agni
but
is behind them.
Yeah, Agni is behind, but he's going to get zomed out hard
And
by the Humbots.
picked
And
off.
Just Be Better is going to be there to clean up the kill. Well, on the bright side, Chernobog did... Oh, Argus is actually getting dropped on Chernobog right now in tower. Khepri unable to confirm the route. Argus is still chasing, but I think
The range is
should
gone.
be out here.
But Gold Fury, I think, has been started up and will probably fall here for Tribal Gaming. It's a much better game too from them.
Attempt to contest this. Oh, they accidentally reset it. Okay, there's the Gold Fury falling to Tribal. So that's putting a 4k gold difference in the favor of Tribal. Much better game than last time. They're really, I think they looked at what they did wrong last game. If you look at wards placed, Tribal's on top. Their ADC and jungler still have 0, but their support, solo, and mid have much more wards than they had at this point last game. So, small improvements.
Jaybird does have those wards in hand, but a much better game for him, currently going 4-0. And topping those player damage charts just short of the 10,000 mark.
Yeah, and that Transcendence on the Gibelante is really putting out a lot of damage numbers. Really high numbers right now. Looks like there might be a red buff invade by bots here.
I don't think they'll be able to secure it with Hera there, but they do get it though.
Yeah, they did. But, oh, will Susan be able to get out, though? Gibelante is doing a whole lot of damage. Gibelante's going to dash in the mid lane. Looks like...
One. I know, Khepri was picked up. Khepri was picked up in the mid lane during that fight, so...
Khepri was picked up in the mid lane by Agni, I believe?
Chernobog's ulting. Medium bots
Arteo's.
pick up 3 for 1 there.
And they got the red buff invade off. That fight was a little bit all over the place. Kind of hard to tell exactly what was going on where, but I think Tribal might have just split up a little too far, and they kind of just let medium bots pick a target, take out that target, move on to the next one.
Yep, but I guess it's also if you want to look on the bright side for Tribal Gaming, they've already taken the Gold Fury. It's not exactly a big objective up. They may lose one of these T1s either. Well, it won't be the mid lane now. Maybe in duo lane, but I think Gibelante will get back in time, so...
I think Gibelante should be back in time to defend that. So,
sorry,
looks
they
like they
stemmed the gap a
they
little
lost
bit.
the red buff and they lost some lives, but that seems to be about it.
Yeah, so the gap stemmed a little bit for the moment, but well, XP difference is actually pretty even. Just Tribal still 2k ahead on the gold side, and I probably believe that's all on either Jaybird, maybe. It's actually a bit difficult to tell. The levels are actually all over the place. Like the ADC for Tribal is up by 1 level. The mid for medium bots is about 11.5 up at the moment.
Sana was looking for a blink into the tower over here. Ended up decided not to go for it, looking like he might try and rotate mid here. He might be kind of baiting here for a Susan to get some space onto Hera. Decides against it. Oh, but Agni's going to go in really aggressively, going to get the stun off on Hera. Argus is going to get dropped. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is the right play. Humbat's blinked and
I
ulted.
think that they were too far on the tower for that to be played. I think
Yeah, I think that
Chevalonke's really going to get
might
picked.
have been.
And Chevalonke does. Oh no, Aegis is used, Dark Knight's used, and the kill was picked up in the duo lane. And this will be a T1 fall in the duo lane.
For sure. Weird fight in the mid lane, but they were able to buy time for Jaybird to solo Gilly, and I think that might have been their play. You know, just kind of push this mid lane fight and see what happens in duo. Jaybird has been performing really well this game, so let's give him some space. Push this fight in mid. You know, keep RTO out of duo.
It's good to think. Medium bots, have they placed a wall behind T2 solo tower?
Yes.
Never seen a ward placed though in my life.
I think it might have been a mistake. I do believe Susano was in the blue buff looking to blink in, so he might have been looking for vision on the Jormungandr.
Okay, fair enough then.
As Bellona 1v2s right now, looks like she's coming out on top here. Yeah, there's a big Bellona ult. I don't think she's able to confirm the kill, but she's definitely going to force it back. There's a horrific emblem coming out from the Jormungandr, but it's not going to be enough to pick her at all. And Susan knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to look for that speed buff, but again, I think he's just going to barely
Walk
miss
away.
the buff timer. Again. So unfortunate. He missed the blue buff timer earlier. Looks like he's going to miss the speed buff timer this time.
I was going to say, if it makes it feel better, I think it was quite a long cooldown for it to come up. He's pretty much in mid lane when it's spawning.
I think bots might definitely be looking for this Gold Fury. Oni Fury is about to spawn. They have a lot of wards, mostly defensive wards, so they might want to look to get some aggressive wards placed. But a lot of wards around that Oni Fury. They definitely seem to want it. But again, coming out from Tribal, again, a lot of wards as well. Looks like Khepri's going to start up the Fury. I don't know.
I think he's just trying to bait out, see if they've got wards.
Definitely a bait. Looks like X-Ball is going to be chunking through RTO, who is all alone, way out of position. Beat and Aegis coming out from X-Ball, trying to avoid the Agni damage. And X-Ball is able to pick up the RTO, as well as pressure out. Oh, Susano coming in. Big ultimate.
The ult
forcing the Khepri ult, picking up the Xbalanque.
And I think he might get out, or will... No, Hera's managing to pick up the kill in backline, but Agni returning the kill on the Humbats and looking to path, trying to find a way to safety right now.
Should be out here. The only one there is Khepri. Khepri's making a really, really brave play right now. He does not have a lot of health here.
Nope, but managing to set up a little root on Agni. A lot of damage coming out on that Agni.
Pathing.
I don't know why he went back to mid lane.
At all. He's forced to use his Aegis, but at least he doesn't lose his life. I think that fight definitely could have been avoided just by walking up towards his red buff.
Yep, 100%. Also going back towards that Gold Fury, where Khepri sort of pulled it to try and bait them out. I don't understand what the play behind that was when he could see like the oracles on the ground were for medium bots. As Agni stayed way too long there and gets picked up by Hera and Khepri.
I can't really defend that play at all. He had multiple chances, probably 4 or 5 chances to back, and he just didn't want to for some reason. You know, he just had one more wave syndrome, defend the T1. You know, just drop the T1, man. Live to fight another day. I don't think giving him the kill on the level 18 Agni was the play.
Nope, especially when this T1's going to fall anyway. If he's not there to defend it in this 30 seconds, maybe jungle can keep it going, but...
Looks like Chernabog is going to try to trade out the T1 in the left lane.
I think he'll get it.
They don't attempt to push in the mid. So, pretty free tower.
Combat's ulted.
Combat's ult.
Aegis is out. I was going to say, has he got an ult to get away? Yep.
But where is he going to go now, though? He's choosing to the Hera. Gets in the wall. Unable to get out. Really good play by Gilly. He got in the wall to prevent the tower shot, so that was really well played. Still died, unfortunately, but still a very good play. Xbalanque is in a really bad position right now. I think they see it. There's the Bellona ult coming in. There's a Susano ult. Yeah, Jaybird put himself
Medium must have 4 members
there.
here. Does this the only Fury look for, or...?
I would hope so, but maybe not. Humbat is up. Don't think they have vision on him.
The Humbat's ult, they should know it's down because it was used on that Chernobog by the T1.
And Bologna and Agni are looking at Oni Fury. Only Kepri's here to contest. Humbots is on the way, though.
Kepri really pushed them off this, or even steal it.
Looks like they're going to drop it, but Kepri's holding it.
And they do manage to
fall to medium bots. I think Kepri, I don't know if that was the play, trying to take aggro. I think he should have just let them
let it go.
Drop the buff.
Yeah. Wait for your team to respawn and fight when your team is sort of grouped and ready to go again.
Definitely an interesting series of plays happening right there. Looks like they might be looking to maybe pressure Pyromancer here. They just put a ward on it. Medium bots did.
I was going to say, I'm very surprised they didn't go for Pyromancer there, presuming they know they had only was pushing up the lane, so if Tribal came in, go to
playing
contest
extremely
it.
aggressively here. Having to sprint himself out, Chernobog dashing to attempt to secure, unable to secure the kill. But they did pull Kepri's sprint. Very big.
Yep, I believe Kepri does have the biggest hitbox in the game, being that very wide lobster at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty sure.
So trying to go into a 2v1, you're going to take damage. There's no way for you to avoid it, really.
No. Bologna and Zorm just going to keep poking each other out in the jungle. Not a whole lot going on. X-Ball seems to be out of position again, but has his dash to get himself out this time. I noticed
Bologna is rotating.
Oh, Bologna is here. She's in a interesting place. I don't know if they really have the damage to do too much to her as far as punishing her.
No, but her ult was up. I just don't think the team was around if she managed to get the 3-man ult off.
Jormungandr's coming out of the jungle. Oh, big ult from Bologna onto the X-Ball.
X-Ball will get away. Maybe X-Ball will get away. Susanoo looking for it.
But on the other side, Agni is in trouble in tower. He gets hit by the Jormungandr ult for the kill. Also in the back line.
I'm watching
in the back
Humbat's
left
chase.
jungle, you're seeing Susanoo versus Bots. And Bots is going to come out on top. Moving back over to the mid lane here. Looks like this fight is pretty much stalled out. Now that Bots is going to get here, I think medium Bots have to kind of just give up this fight. I don't think they want to take this 3v4.
No.
These fights are just so close. One team might get an advantage in one fight and then lose it in the next fight.
I think there's also a few misplays there. So, for instance, Kepri ulted Jaybird. Jaybird got to the safety of his T2, ulted for safety, and then just sort of stood around in mid 2 instead of just running back, and Susanoo managed to pick him up. Especially when they did have a ward, I think Susanoo would have walked over it.
No, I definitely agree. We've seen that a lot this game. Both teams seem really, really aggressive, and they really want to fight. And it seems like they both seem to kind of stay too long in these fights. And Hunbots didn't finish clearing out that Harpy camp. That was interesting.
I wonder when he'll notice that one.
Probably just a slight mistake. Oh, big damage onto the Chernobog here. Hera's able to get her hits in. Argus is going to drop on Chernobog. And
caught in the dash.
I don't think he has an escape here.
No, but I think she should be okay. Her team is rotating sort of favor. The Agni stun is coming out. There's a couple of bombs. Managing to pick up the Humbats.
Really big bombs. And now Susan's going to, I think, pick up Hera here as well. Potentially. Oh, big Kepri ult, but I
think they can still chase it down.
I think they just keep going. Yeah, I think you just hold W key at this point.
They pick up the Kepri. Can they get the Hera?
And they got the Hera, and that's also going to be a T1. I think Sheev might need to try and split this T2 if the...
I don't think this is the right call going for this T2. I think you go fire at this stage. Because you know you're going to lose that T2 in that left lane.
I think they should have just stuck to the Jormungandr, honestly. And
Jaybird picks up Bologna.
Penguin teleported to that tower, and I don't think that was worth. Jormungandr overexerted in the mid lane, and I think they could have just fragged him and maybe gotten the T2 in mid. I don't think trying to save that T2 was worth it, especially not.
No, when it fell anyway.
Not with the HP that Penguin was at.
No, I'm not too convinced on the fully collapsing on that Girthworm, presuming that his ultimate pretty much gets him out of jail free every so often. So burning into abilities into a Jormungand, unless you know that ult is 100% down, I don't think it's ever the right call.
Well, at the same time, I don't think teleporting that T2 is the right call either.
No.
I think pressuring fire, like you said originally, was probably the best call they could have done. Xbalanque was all the way in the left lane, pushing a T2 in the dual lane, so I think the fire pressure was probably the right call, like you said originally.
But I think they'll probably get the Gold Fury out of this, so that Gold Fury will close that gold gap that they've present, I think. So they'll be like 3k behind at this stage if they manage to secure this. About 4k behind, but
Tribal's able to pick up the T mid one, that mid one
tower.
mid T1 tower. A nice 500 gold for that team. Now they're just looking to kind of poke out. They're dewarding fire right now, which is really important for Tribal. Looks like they definitely want to try and pressure this. This fight is just all split up. There's fights on all different sides. Big ult coming in onto the Agni. Susano let his ult rip. Bellona's going in as well.
Humbat's used his ult kind of defensively. I think he'll get out, but Hera might be in trouble here to Susano.
Instead, Hera turns that on Susan really quick and hits him with a big 1-2 combo.
Interesting. I think Khepri managing to pick up Jorm in his ult, but Jorm managing to go after everyone basically.
And now they're just going to chase down Bellona for the final kill.
I don't know if this is worth chasing or you just
I
drop the
don't
Bellona and go fire.
Chase.
Or
I
even
don't
the
agree with
T2.
this case either. I think they can just either run it up mid or just go for the Fire Giant. I think Fire Giant's a great play here. Actually, Bellona is in a really weird spot if Humbats notices, but I don't think he knows. Looks like he might have just seen her before she backed.
No, there was no war coverage inside of Tribal Gaming there. But possibly going to get Phoenix out here. Don't think
I think Phoenix
too
is
much.
a good call here. I think Fire was definitely a possible call. If they're able to confirm the Phoenix, though, having those Fire minions
this is huge.
Is definitely a inconvenience for medium bots.
Yeah, so as we said, as soon as they stopped chasing the Bellona, they were able to confirm a couple of objectives, and that is a huge advantage when the next big objective on the map is going to be the Fire Giant.
It looks like they're going to set up for it here.
I think they need to go and clear lanes, because if they try and set up Fire Giant right now, they're going to possibly lose both the T2s.
Yeah, definitely. X-Ball's out of mana here. Actually, this could be a sneaky fire push from bots. I don't know if they see it.
I think they're going to deward it, but
The X-Ball has to back here. He has no mana. Ooh, Hera might get caught out here by Susano. Never mind, she does crazy damage.
Churn is in the air. I don't know where he's going to drop down. I don't see anyone.
Jormungandr's just going to solo Agni in the back if they don't give him some help. Jormungandr's ulting. If he hits this ult, Agni's going to be dead. Big hit from Jorm, and another big hit from Jorm. Agni is dead. There's the Humbat's ult coming in, trying to confirm the Chernobog.
And they do manage to get it.
And now X-Ball's back in the fight on the Bellona. Bellona looks really dead here. She's going to try and ult out. On the other side of the map, RTO's going to get picked up by the Hunbots. Again, I don't think chasing Bellona is the play. I think they realize it.
And Tribal Gaming immediately starting up that Fire Giant.
Oh, I don't know if that was the right play. Susan had the ult. I think he could have saved that a little bit. He was able to confirm one kill. I think if he saved that ult, he definitely could have got more.
Yep, Bellona's not really got an ult tested, but maybe it's enough to scare them off if they just get Pyromancer. Will they go for the fire or will they just back?
I think they go for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if Susan had waited maybe 5 or 6 seconds, kind of let that Fire Giant get a little bit lower, and let each player get a little bit lower, the ultimate may have
had a bit more of an effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bellona is here. Ult's still not up, but has got the potential to steal this.
Khepri is taking a lot of damage from this Fire Giant.
Khepri dashing
himself and then get out, which is resetting fire onto Xbalanque, who had to beat the knockup there in order to confirm the Fire Giant.
But they do manage to get it, so...
And thanks to Truth Kill earlier, Hera will not have Fire Giant. So, Truth was able to at least successfully stall the Fire Giant and remove it from Hera.
Okay, That fire giant seemed to take quite a long time. Maybe they were waiting for Hera to sort of come back and just they had to confirm it once Bologna was really there, putting out a bit more damage than they expected.
I think it's definitely possible. Also, when Kepri started getting a little bit lower each every
Each hit, yeah. But
each second.
He did have an ult if he desperately needed it. So. Is that an only Fury that's about to spawn? That they're both going to fight over.
Still have fire waves pushing up in the mid lane. It looks like Bologna and Chernobog. No, they're not going to hang around gold. Thought maybe they might. Chernobog is actually starting up gold. I believe Hunbat sees him. RTO behind Hunbats. I don't know if Bots knows RTO's there. Bots is going to blink in and miss the ult. Jormungandr's going to come in on the back, though. Really get a lot of damage off onto the Chernobog, who goes up into the air. And he's going to go mid, and they're going to be able to pick just the better. Here's a big Jormungandr ult, though. Can Susano kill, potentially? Chernobog going to get picked up by Jaybird in the mid. Susan blinked past Jormungandr to get out. RTO's also going to get taken. Oh!
I wouldn't chase this RTO.
I don't think this is worth. I think you just go for the Phoenix.
Go for Phoenix at this stage, yeah.
He's able to pick up the RTO, so not the worst play, but definitely lost a lot of time that he could be pushing Phoenix. Susan was able to go back and heal. Agni was able to heal a little bit as well. Looks like they're still going to try and siege this.
Yeah, they should.
Late.
Bologna
ulted in a little too aggressively, I think. Susan's able to actually pick up Jaybird, so they traded Bologna for Jaybird, but they also lost Phoenix, and Agni's going to go down as well. Kepri still has ult to save the Hunbots.
So they're currently a 3-on-1 fight.
I don't think this is worth at all. I think Truth really wants spots, but I don't think he has to. Oh, he definitely does not have the damage to kill these two. Not sure exactly.
No, that was not the right call. I understand maybe positioning there to save your speed buff, but having an escape route, but trying to go in on the 2 tanks. Not the
He didn't have Titan's Bane. He just now picked up Titan's Bane in base. Well, he actually just reverted that purchase. But not having Titan's Bane too and trying to go on 2 tanks, definitely an interesting play. I don't know if that was the right call. Oh, this game has been quite a long one, and it looks like we're probably going to have a game 3. I think Tribal's looking extremely strong right now. I think if they just keep doing what they're doing, don't let anything get, don't let the lead get to their head. Don't start playing recklessly. Just keep winning the fights the same way they have been all game. I think they're going to be looking really good, potentially going into a game 3.
Yep. Just Byron's pushing down that middle lane. Are they just going to go all out middle and try and end, or I don't know. I think I should prefer to see them push up lanes at this.
Well, I got another crash, so.
Okay, so.
Spectator does not like me today.
Kepri diving the backline on his own, but no damage dealers sort of there. Kepri probably will. Oh, using the ult to save his life. Hera managing to pick up the RTO. And they're going right into the Titan room. Bologna with a big 3-man ult. Big Agni bombs. Big Susano. And they've managed to turn this fight totally. And that is a deicide on the side of medium bots.
Big deicide on medium bots. Yeah, I wish I could have shown it on my end. But I hope you guys have tuned over to Waffles to see this. Huge deicide. That's massive. Only 1 Phoenix was down. So they can really run up mid here. They're going to get at least 1 T2, potentially even a Phoenix here.
They need to be a bit careful with minions pushing into that left Phoenix. I don't think they've got enough power to... I changed my mind. They definitely have got enough power to take that Phoenix. They've lost the left Phoenix here.
Yeah, that might have been an oversight. I feel like Agni maybe, particularly, just because I think he offers the least damage to structures at this point. Should have stayed behind and kind of watched for that. They haven't even finished the T2 yet, yeah. Now they're moving in to the Phoenix. Well, they were able to confirm the mid Phoenix, but I don't know if that was worth losing their dual lane Phoenix.
No, they are going to have a lot of fire minions really pushing into their Titan. Fire Giants currently up at the moment. I don't think they've got any way to defend that.
Yeah, they had a really big win, and I think they were a little bit too excited, got a little bit ahead of themselves. Susano's looking good, a lot of trouble, and he got picked.
He was
I'm
picked
seeing
out of
everything at
position.
a few seconds delay here.
No problem.
So.
Plus side, the Phoenix they did get, I don't think their mid Phoenix will spawn, so they have that on their side, but
And Fire Giants can fall to Tribal.
yeah, I think this probably should be game as Humbat's looking to go in on this churn. Doesn't manage to get the ult off either, so I think they just push down this right lane or even go to mid and get that Phoenix back. I think the call is made to go to the right lane at the moment, but both tanks going forward, leaving Hera pretty much on her own right now, but I think they're still able to pick up favourite Penguin there on the Bellona. And this Phoenix will fall. Kebri picking up a kill on the RTO. I think they'll just focus the Titan now and that should be game.
So okay, seems like the lucky thing is when I crash is when games end. So
That's good to know.
when I'm about to crash, the game is about to end. So that is a victory for Tribal Gaming. That's interesting. Quite.
Yeah, so managing to put the first game behind them and come back with something totally different this time.
Yeah, I mean that looked like a totally different team out there. They really they played the early game a lot better. Their teammates warded for the most part. I don't even know what to say. Just Jaybird really took that game and just kind of like he took his small lead that he got in the early game and he just really flew with it. He pressured Gilly so hard. Gilly was just not able to keep up with the damage numbers that the Xbalanque was putting out. Not only with the trans, but with the branching bolas, just so much pressure, and it kind of just bled out into every other lane. Having that insane team fight potential with the Humbats is definitely looking super strong in Classic League right now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it was around the Fire Giant fight where Humbats ulted, and I believe it was the Agni was just forced to lock into place with a Jorm ulting, and Jorm managing to hit a double ult on that Agni to really finish off that fight. So, yeah, I can see why Xbalanque is powerful, especially in the hands of Jaybird.
I'm very happy to see Xbalanque finally putting in some work in Classic League. As for what went wrong with bots here, I don't really know. I felt like the Agni was putting out a lot of damage, getting a lot of numbers. Susan had a lot of really good fights. It just seemed like Gilly was just never really able to get online, and I think it definitely showed in that game.
As
when your ADC just can't get online and do damage, it is quite an issue.
Seems like they're already in the picks and ban stage for Game 3. Seems like Xbalanque and Hera banned out on the side of medium bots, and Merlin currently banned out by Tribal Gaming.
I'm getting some spectator bugs, so I will get to the game as soon as I can.
No problem.
Not much.
I'm also getting a couple of bugs on the game 2 on the other set, but it's not allowing me to spectate.
Oh, I'm finally in. Gilly's gonna first pick King Arthur. I don't see what their bans were, so I'm not sure what the first round bans were.
So for Tribal Gaming, they banned out the Merlin and Naja. Medium bots banned out the Xbalanque and Hera. And every strong pick in the game is going to get picked in after Arthur, Jorm, Humbats, Taylor.
A lot of four just really big picks coming out right out of the gun.
I also like at the speed they were picked, like, oh, this is open, taking it. This is open, we're taking that.
The Jormungandr into the Arthur is actually a really interesting pick. I don't believe Jormungandr can get Arthur ult in the second form of his ultimate.
Uh,
He cannot be Najah ulted, so I'm assuming he can also not be
I would also
Arthur.
assume it's the same interaction, and yeah, because it's a banish, and I don't think he can be affected by them.
I'm
But
honestly interested to see that they didn't attempt to get a first pick Hunbots coming out of bots.
I guess King Arthur was open, so I think that's slightly higher priority than the Humbats pick.
Oh,
But
definitely, definitely. I think that is a valid point. Just the Hunbots in the set so far has been very impressive. So I expect to see the same thing this game.
and we will see Show back on the Scylla.
I think that's really good. I think he performed extremely well in the Scylla in game one, and he tried something a little bit different in game two. Didn't quite work out. So let's go back to some basics. Go back to what we know, and I go back to our Scylla. Ganesh pick up. Oh, now I can see picks and bans. Okay, that was weird.
Just maybe the stage join, but yeah.
Ganesh not picked up very much, getting a slight buff upcoming. But definitely, I think a solid guardian. Can definitely do some interesting things alongside the Hunbots if you can position the ult properly. You can force people through the Ganesh ult with the Hunbots ult, and that can be extremely dangerous and deadly. So again, you're seeing
Yeah.
that same Fafnir ban they've gone for every single time. Also banning out the Terra, which was shown by Medium Bot.
Yeah, the Terra Humbats ult was very strong, so I'm surprised Tribal banned it out when they could have. I guess they picked up the Ganesh, so they can't exactly run the same combo. So, no, fair enough. I think it is the right call then to ban out.
And you're saying that Xbalanque actually made it through the entire pick ban phase. I had not noticed the first round of picks bans. But you're to see him banned out here. I'm sorry. No.
No, yeah, Agni and Cern
Agni
has
and
been
Stern.
banned this
Agni
second.
Cern. My bad. Agni and Cern going to get banned out round two. Solid mage, solid ADC. Nothing really special there. Pretty common bans. Zhang Kui. I want to see this. I really want to see this.
Into a Scylla. The healing is great on him, but I'm not sure if he necessarily wins lane, as Scylla can pretty much clear the way quite safely. But
I think the lane could be very rough. It's very hard for him to get out of Scylla's abilities. I think his team fight potential is definitely there, though. Looks like he is now hovering a Vulcan. I think Vulcan might be a better pick with pairing the Ganesh. You have to make a choice. Do you run out of Ganesh ult or do you eat a Vulcan ult? Or
True.
in many cases, both. Yeah, I don't know how I felt about the Zhang. I kind of wanted to see it, just personal preference. I thought it would be cool, but I think the Vulcan's a much better pick into the Scylla. Having some ability to juke out the Scylla ult and crush is good.
Yeah, 100%, and especially again with the Humbats sort of allowing that setup of the Vulcan ult a lot easier. Ganesh, as you mentioned, you either stay in the Ganesh ult or you take damage from the Ganesh ult and you still probably don't make it out in time.
Now you're seeing, on her and Gep, two new gods we have not seen picked here today. Gep has been banned out second phase for game 1 and game 2. Slips through bans here, going to get picked up by medium bots. On her has not been shown or picked or banned or anything at all. We haven't seen anything with him. definitely interested to see this. I think the CC immunity on his ult can be extremely helpful when looking into that Humbots coming out of Tribal.
Yeah,
So definitely an interesting pick. You don't see very often. I'm excited to see it.
and
Uller going to get picked up by Jaybird. I haven't seen an Uller in quite some time. Still, though, a solid ADC. Nothing wrong with Uller. Good ability damage. Good lane pressure. He has some even good late game. Having a stun on a hunter is definitely has its pros for late game fights.
yeah, especially when might take a don't know if it's something they've practiced, but if you manage to hit a meatball from Vulcan and you know where they're going to land, that Ulla stun can be pretty effective, and then also allows Vulcan to set up his backfire.
Definitely, there's there's a lot of potential. Whenever you have a stun on a character like a hunter who would not normally have a stun, um, it definitely has a lot of potential to just really just one shot people, especially if it gets a small lead. We could definitely see it start spiraling into a much greater lead into the league.
Yeah, 100%. So who do you think sort of won the draft this time, or do you think it's pretty even again?
Starting off the draft, I was really liking Tribal, but looking at those last two picks, that on her Geb, I think is so good. Seeing Arthur in a game, that god is just so impossible to deal with. And then seeing Shro on Scylla again, I gotta give it to medium bots this time. I think they performed game one. Tribal was able to really come back last game and show that, hey, we deserve to be here. But I think bots just have a much better draft this game.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see the Jormungandr into the King Arthur and see if the ult is affected.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see Arthur pick Jorm out of this guy. But at the same time, Arthur still has a second. He has two ultimates, so
That is
if
true.
one doesn't work, he can just use the other. He's still going to have lane pressure. I think he's still going to be extremely deadly, extremely hard to gank, extremely hard to kill. I think he should be innovating too. Sorry, excuse me.
Yep. I think Jorm is actually a great solo laner, but I don't think his level 1 or 2 clear is the best, especially if you put it against the Arthur. But then again, I think Jorm can probably outdamage Arthur until Arthur gets the Glad Shield online.
Oh
So,
yeah, definitely. Arthur does want to be careful. Once he gets Glad Shield, totally different game. But before then, I agree. Play it safe. Don't do anything too risky. Just wait till you get your Glad Shield, and then do whatever you want because you're Arthur.
pretty much that's how Arthur goes. Well, at least for this week, we'll see when his changes actually come through, how that affects him. But for now, he's got that pretty much true damage on his ultimate, which doesn't necessarily have to be used on Jorm like we keep mentioning. He's still got a Humbat or a Vulcan he can pick out the air and absolutely
Oh, definitely,
annihilate.
especially late game. Once those team fights start, we'll definitely. I think Arthur will be much better this game in the team fights than he would normally be. In comparison to his lane, I don't think his lane will be the strongest thing like normal, because he doesn't have that ultimate pressure. But late game, he's still Arthur. He's still gonna take an ADC up and do half their health with his ult, and then full heal off the rest of their team with Glass. It's gonna be interesting to see if Tribal takes any measures to try and counter the Arthur too. They picked the Jormungandr, which I think was a good idea. I think it was. I think that's can't outbox him with the warrior. Why don't you just try and ignore him with the guardian until those team fights, and then try and just be more useful utility wise.
Yeah, 100%. I will be curious to see how quickly anti-heal sort of picked up against an Arthur and a Pele, and who sort of picks up like the Pestilence would be the main one that gets picked up.
Looks like Ullr's just going to be rushing into the T2 trans, whereas Anher is going to pick up the Hunter's Blessing and trans. Ullr's going to want to get them stacks online, probably looking for some really early pressure. Jaybird probably feeling pretty confident after last game. I think he's ready to just hit some axe combos and absolutely destroy people with Transcendence. On the other side, you're seeing Scylla again with the T2 rush into Bancroft's Talon. Pretty standard for what Shro's been doing all day. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. As I say that, actually, Pele not opting for the blink, instead opting for the beads, probably in an attempt to fight the Hun bots a little bit more effectively.
Yeah. That's what I expect.
Vulcan started his turret on the speed buff, I believe. I'm curious to see if he got full credit for that buff.
I
Looks
don't
like
think
Hun
he
bots
did.
pretty slow there.
But Humbat's again going for the red buff.
Not a bad idea. I think if let Jorm kind of do his own thing.
Vulcan didn't hit 2, so he didn't get full credit for that speed buff.
Yeah, I didn't think so. On the other side, dual lane, Anher was almost picked, but at the same time, Ganesh also almost got picked. That was a lot of fighting going on in dual lane.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure I loved it last game. I don't like the Humbat's rotation this game. Unless you are going to ask your duo to really lose pressure in the lane so you know they're pushed up and you can really gank really early, I don't think ganking when they're pretty much by their T1 is the right call.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on here, because right now all you're going to see is, well, Helmbots actually is coming in. Geb got a little bit more poked out maybe than he would like to.
I think he's going to show his space.
On the right side of the map. Humbots just showed himself, so I think he lost all kill potential.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not going to go for the purple invade. I guess he's going to let Duo do it on their own while he just cleans up their purple buff. Jormungandr actually out-pressuring Arthur by quite a bit. He accidentally just took a tower shot, but even still, he has a significant health lead over Arthur right now. I think that also goes to the start having the double chalice plus pots versus just having a few potions.
Yeah, but John could be in trouble with Pele rotating in behind.
Meanwhile, in dual lane, Humbots actually is going to go for a big gank. Looks like Geb might be getting picked here. He's going to shield himself, maybe slip out, and he is able to slip out.
Jorm just made it out in the solo lane.
So you got Jormungandr just slivering out in solo, and Geb just barely rolling out in the duo lane. Both teams looking for that first blood. They really want these kills.
Arthur could be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Arthur has been pressured pretty consistently this game. Again, the sustain from the double chalice, the health chalice plus health pots, is really helping Jormungandr just stay in lane and he does not care about Arthur at all, not taking any damage and just keeping his health sustain going.
Arthur currently sitting at about 900 gold, not quite enough to go back and get that Glad Shield online.
Should be able to just finish up this wave, maybe split his blue, and then he'll be looking pretty with a Glad. Pele is going to contest the totem, and it looks like Jorm's going to give it up. So totem's going to fall to medium bots. I think totem is a really undervalued buff, honestly. The sustain and the movement speed is pretty nice, and then the extra 25 gold. Might remind you to buy that
could
ward
be in trouble here.
Humbot's being very aggressive. Pele's going to pick up first blood on Chief in the blue buff, and I believe he actually stole it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Medium boss was able to get the blue buff steal and get the first blood on Chief at the same time. Really big play on the side.
I don't know if there was a bit of miscommunication there, because as you see from medium bots, they have the ward there. I think that was placed literally in front of Jorm's face. Whether he's too tall that he can't see a ward placed underneath him, I'm not actually sure.
Meanwhile, in the duo lane, I think again maybe some miscommunications. The Ganesh grabbed on her, but Ullr was axing Geb damage was split up and they were unable to confirm the kill. But in the mid lane, Vulcan's going to get picked by Pele, and now Pele, I think she should take this 1v1. Looks like she's going to. She's going to take the 1v1 onto the Humbats. She's going to get the return damage, and there's the knockup. Humbats jumping in place. That might be the death of him, as Truth is able to pick up a second kill. Or, a third kill.
Yep, he picked up Vulcan along the path, but I missed the kill because I was following duo at that stage.
I also missed the kill because of the dual lane fight. Uller is going to be invading red here. I'm not sure if Shro realizes this on red. Could potentially rotate in. Ops just go back to mid lane. I'm not sure if he even knew the duo was invading there. But yeah, going back to that duel fight, I feel like Tribal definitely had some potential kills there. When Ganesh dashed on her, I thought the Uller was going to follow up the axe. But again, I think a miscommunication happened. Uller ended up axing the Geb. Ganesh
puts out a lot of damage.
Ganesh almost solo killed on her.
I was going to say, Ganesh has an ult up. I'm expecting... Yep, that's exactly what I was expecting.
And Ganesh is going to sprint out of there. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, or if that was like a little bit of a taunt, or if that was just
no, that was 100% on purpose. Presuming Geb has a much better chase potential, you need to get as far away from that Geb as possible when you're at maybe 50 health.
That's definitely... Yeah, you're probably right. Geb can actually put out a surprising amount of damage. Meanwhile, I did not realize in the solo lane, Jormungand is going to get picked up again by Truth. Truth is back with a vengeance. We saw Truth perform extremely well on the Humbats in game 1, not so much in game 2. Big fight going on in mid. Vulcan's going to actually hit Scylla with ult. Scylla's going to miss her ult. Truth's going to go in with his ult onto Vulcan. Humbats ult on the Scylla. Scylla's still alive. Misses the Sikkim. Still able to pick up the kill.
I don't think Scylla picked up the kills. I think that was a little help from that minion wave. She's finishing off.
I'm not sure what happened. All I know is Bancroft is the only reason that Shro is alive.
Yeah.
That Sikkim miss almost through the kill, but just barely able to slide out of there.
Do you know what was really bad? I had to look to see if Ganesh ult was up to see if he was going to do the same trick again. It's up now, so...
When I saw Ganesh dash, I thought the exact same thing.
But Scylla does have an escape from that Ganesh ult, so maybe not the best target. But, well, that dash is now down, so... Come on, Mr. Elephant. Let's do it. Let's grab that kill.
Oh,
Pele's in a bit of trouble.
Vulcan. Big Ganesh ult, but he actually was not able to lock down the Pele with the ult. The silence, honestly, really, really strong ability. Ganesh silence, I think 100% just got Vulcan out of that fight.
But Ganesh being his left dueler 2-in-1 in the duo lane, and her ult has been used. I think Jabez pretty much stuck behind tower at this stage.
Oh, Ganesh dashed in really aggressively, but Shro sadly missed the Sikkim. I think Ganesh would have just died. I think a little bit, maybe some miscommunication. He dashed in totally alone.
And I got stasis mode. Okay, it happened at the same time. That's good. So Medium Bot's pulling out a 6-1 lead. 5 of those kills pretty much on Pele as she rotates around the map.
Even the 6th kill, Truth was actually in assist range in the mid lane, helping out with that.
Yeah, Truth was pretty much dead, and Scylla just had to finish off with the crush. But
I think we're back. Vulcan's gonna ult to secure wave here. Not a bad idea. You know, hey, if you got it back, you got it back, right? Shro's looking to be sneaky
Shro
here.
is close.
And actually hit the crush. Sadly, not enough damage. Humbats is going to come up here. Choosing not to go on the Scylla. Very interesting. Humbats has ult up. I feel like Chief could have been a little bit more aggressively there.
Yeah, especially with Scylla with maybe mana enough to either hit a Sikkim to stop the Humbats or get into the ult and try and run away. But yeah, I guess I don't think the kill potential was quite there. Maybe a little bit to be aggressive, but I understand the safe call of going back and just trying to farm up.
So right now we're only seeing a 1,500 gold lead in the favor of bots and about a 2,100 point
Big Scylla
in favor. Big fight going on in mid. Scylla hits her ult.
Hits it again.
She can hit the second one. Oh, he
hits it a third time.
Oh, Shro!
Shro is a monster. Why is Scylla being played?
Oh, Shro. I don't know if Shro hit a single root so far in this game, but he hit the one that mattered, and that's all that I care about. They're gonna have to try and dance this Gold Fury around. Hopefully Honor can get here and help out a little bit with this. I think Geb's gonna try. Oh,
Nice.
oof. Truth almost got killed by Gold Fury there.
Did you say Scylla didn't hit a root all game? That final Iron Monster wasn't enough to do enough damage. It was the Sikkim at the end that finished off. I can't remember who the final kill was.
She hit the Shro hit the Sikkim, and that counted for the triple kill. Had to get. He was just waiting for that highlight play. He knew it was coming. Said I'm gonna miss a few Sikkums, make him kind of doubt me, and then I'm gonna come in with the big.
Meanwhile,
triple
Pele in the back. Sorry, that's Arthur going after the Humbats. Not quite ready to dive a T1 yet, but 4v1 if Vulcan turns around, which he does now. But it is an Arthur, so I don't think 4v1 is the biggest priority for him.
Oh, and he's able to just barely backstep out of the Vulcan ult. Looks like he should be out here.
Yep.
Pro's coming back up in the mid lane. Humbats is going to break off. Looks like they're just going to get this wave uncontested. Tro's just going to get the right minions.
Pele confirming the Tome of Coup for medium bots as well.
We're just really trying to push that gold lead. Oh, Truth has found Humbats in the jungle. Humbats is going to jump out, but there's the ult from Pele. He's going to clean up Chief one more time.
I was going to say, not that it matters, but Tome of Coup doesn't just give gold, it does give your team that mana regen as well.
Yeah, and a little bit of movement speed too, I believe, under tower.
Yep, so as Jaybird manages to pick up the Anhur. Sorry, I was just off that.
Yeah, I totally missed that. But Jaybird, a big axe onto Shro as well. Jaybird really trying to show off his mechanics this game. I think if Shro turns around here, this could be a free Ganesh kill. Instead, he's going to try and confirm the Uller. Geb with a big ult onto Ganesh. I think they're just really broken up here. Big Vulcan ult coming in.
Vulcan managing to pick up Scylla in that fight as Jormungandr manages to get
solo kill. I think medium bots really threw that fight. I think we could have turned our focus onto a different character.
Well, the Scylla ult was good on the Uller. It did pretty much bring him down 75%.
I think they were just really broken up because you had Geb ulting onto the Ganesh and you had Scylla ulting onto the Uller, and I think they just had a bit of a miscommunication. Meanwhile,
Truth going in.
Truth's going in, no HP at all, but he doesn't care. Picking up Jaybird, that was a really brave play. That's all I'm gonna say.
Especially when didn't really have lifesteal online, but
I'm assuming passive was up. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell sometimes with Pele, but okay.
But it puts Truth 7-0, and that is 5 levels above the Humbats at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much I'm going to say about that.
I am surprised that Humbats is behind and elected to go into the Crusher rather than the Jotuns are often just... If you're behind, you might as well try an ult and do something. Even if it's defensive, it's going to be up a lot more.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you on there. I think going into the Jotuns, getting that ult up more often might have been a better play. A little bit of damage increase on the Crusher. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it. Meanwhile, in solo lane, they are really diving deep over here. Looks like Humbats is going to barely get out.
I think. Scylla's in there out in mid. Does manage to hit the Ganesh and will finish the Ganesh off with that crush. They still fighting solo? Yes, they are.
Going on all over in the map. And meanwhile, in dual lane, we get an axe combo coming out from Uller, but Anhur able to get the impale on the wall, ulting. Gilly turned that fight with a little bit of laughs for some bragging rights right there. I don't know if you were able to.
I did see that fight. Yep, that was.
Gilly was able to keep composure in a fight that would, Gilly was losing that fight, but was able to maintain composure, hit the impale onto the wall, nail every bit of that ultimate, and really turned that fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, even after, I think everyone's abilities were down, it was, I think, 200 health each. It was just down to the autos.
One auto.
Yeah.
And I believe Jaybird missed and Gilly did not. Oh, that was close.
Geb and Ganesh are having a bit of a slap fight in the jungle right now.
I've noticed Ash and Angel really like to just bother people. the Terra game, it just felt like all game Terra was in the back line just bothering people, 1v3ing people for poke, and doing the same thing.
Medium bot starting up the Gold Fury here. Tribal Gaming do have a sentry ward around here, so they do know this is being done.
Truth's able to really zone out. Truth's able to actually get a kill on the Vulcan. Gold's going to go down in the favor of bots. Scylla dropped
big Scylla ult again.
Able to hit. Chases all over the place. Looks like bots is going to be able to get away in mid.
They're having to Aegis.
Coming out from Pele. This fight's getting a little close here. Just barely missing on the crush, but Pele's coming in the pack. Oh, I don't know if Jaybird sees it. He does. He hits the axe. Can he nail the 3?
But
he's unable to get the kill, but he was able to save his own life, which is very big.
Save his own life, but now I think Scylla's coming in to try and change that. And her ult's nowhere near up.
Just get behind his tower and just take the win. You didn't die. Congratulations.
Nope. They will lose the T1 tower for it, but the other didn't die. Got out
Meanwhile,
with his life.
solo, Jormungandr looking really strong. Popping thorns. Arthur's actually trying to fight through thorns here. I don't know if that's really the play. Jormungandr's going to go for the ult. Doesn't look like he's going to connect with the first shot. Unable to connect with the second shot.
And then I think you just back out now.
I think he's just going to disengage.
Yep.
Good call. Arthur trying to just get some poke for those Glad Shield heals. Again with the Arthur ult, 8 seconds after the first one. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Ganesh just dashed onto the Scylla. Scylla's able to sidestep it, get a root crush combo. Geb's gonna go in.
ADCs are fighting at it. I think Ula would just try and run away at this stage. Yep.
Oh, another fight in the duo lane, going the way of Gilly. Gilly definitely kind of struggled in the early game, but definitely pulling it back last few fights. Gilly seemed to come out on top in the mid lane. Big Scylla ults and nails it.
Yeah.
Vulcan Aegis just a couple seconds too early. Pele just invaded the speed buff, I believe stole it, and killed Chief while also pulling the Ganesh ult. Truth is on fire this game.
Well, yeah. Tribal Gaming only having the mid warded. I think Pele rotating around the right side of the map. Following that wall, no, after seeing the Humbat sort of go that way, as they start Pyromancer right now.
Looks like Pyromancer's going to fall the way of medium bots. Interesting, Ullr's going for the purple buff invade instead of confirming the T1 tower. I think Jaybird needs to get on that. Minions might take it. Looks like Jaybird's going to actually get back to that right now. Good. Confirm the T1. You lost the Pyromancer, but hey, we gotta get something out of it. Meanwhile, in the solo lane, Arthur, I know, just missed ult. Trying to just pressure out Jormungandr just a little bit. Tower's pretty low.
Yeah,
he's combo and duo onto Pele. There's a lot of people here. I don't know if Pele realizes this. There's the Humbat's blink ult. The Vulcan's ulting as well, off target, but they're still able to just take out the Truth. That's Truth's first death of this game.
I will say I love that Vulcan ult.
Big Geb ult into the Scylla crush. Everyone's so low. Scylla whiffed ult, but they should still be able to pick up the Ganesh here.
And Vulcan is in a lot of trouble staring down this. Well, never mind. He managed to pick up the Geb with a turret.
Vulcan turret.
But yeah,
that Geb ult. That's why you see now why Geb was banned in the last 2 games during the second round phase.
And
her unable to steal that red buff.
No.
The Geb ult is just such crazy good setup. set up the 3-man Scylla Crush, which just completely destroyed Tribal. I mean, they all had such little HP left after that. They could not continue to fight.
Nope, and I think it was just perfectly played. I was saying at the beginning of the fight, I really liked the Vulcan ult going down the lane, sort of taking Pele's escape option away, forcing her into the jungle, into the Ganesh who's stunned, and then the meatball finishing off the kill. But
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
fight got absolutely turned.
It definitely was a well-positioned ult, but like you said, just the counter rotation on the side of medium bots was too strong for Tribal in that particular fight. This Jorm pick has been incredibly impressive into the Archer. I mean, they are just having so much trouble with Jormungandr. So I'm interested to see if we're going to start seeing more people maybe let Arthur through after this game and just picking Jorm, because this is really impressive.
I think after his, I guess, nerfs, but we'll have to see how they play out, where he's not doing true damage to you. That could well be a possibility.
We saw Geb pick up Gold Fury for a few seconds. Humbots and Ul are going to scare them right off that. Looks like Truth just wants to go in. Looks like Geb's going to go in too. There's the Geb ult onto the Uller. There's the knockup and the Scylla ult, preventing the Uller from jumping and killing.
Geb's very low. If they can find anything. Jorm is in the back line.
But it looks like Jormungandr's trying to go on the Scylla instead. Big Ganesh ult.
Very out of position here.
Going to get himself out. On her, hits the ult stun. No one's able to follow up. Truth's going to gank her on the back, though. Clean up Jormungandr. Might be looking at Vulcan instead, just kind of backing up a little bit, taking a minute. Big Scylla Crush coming in on her with a massive ult into the Impale to take out the Ganesh. Another really big team fight, won decisively by medium bots.
Yeah, and this should be an easy Gold Fury for them.
This is so reminiscent of Game 1 with just Truth and Shiro getting gods they're incredibly comfortable with and just doing what they do best. Ragging. 10-1 both of them. Only one more assist in the favor of Truth. They're basically just mirror images of each other.
Yeah, in that last fight, I'm really not sure of the Jorm play. Jorm has been doing very well in the solo against Arthur, but that's because he's got 2 physical defense items online. I don't think you can dive into the back line against a Scylla, stare her in the face, then she sickens you, crushes you, and you're down to 20% health, and then they just finished you off. You haven't got the magical protections to really be doing that to a 10-1 Scylla.
And I think what's really, really important in this game, in the past 3 minutes, the experience difference has shot up. Just massive shot up in experience difference. It's been in the favor of medium bots for a while, but in the past 2 or 3 minutes particularly, it's spiked incredibly high. 11k XP difference, almost 9k gold difference in the favor of medium bots. But again, Truth looking for another kill here. He's just looking for kills at this point. Oh, Ganesh is totally out of position here.
Yeah, and that would be Ganesh fallen.
Ganesh had to ult there. Oh, Scylla just blinked in. Does Scylla blink? Scylla does have blink and blinked in. Pele is really deep in the background. Yeah. Pele is all alone. A lot of healing coming out of the Soul Eater,
and
though.
Managing to pick up the Vulcan.
Passive. A lot of healing. Wow, that was crazy. Scylla is going to confirm the ult onto Jormungandr. Arthur will be able to pick up a kill. And again, Scylla with another kill. And Arthur should be able to pick up Uller. It's really close. Uller is going to get the kill and have a Bloodforge shield. Looks like. Yeah, Jaybird is able to get something out of that fight. So
the damage numbers on Scylla at the moment is insane. We are 23 minutes into the game and Scylla just shy of the 25k mark.
She was able to get that Obsidian Shard. Honestly, I think like that ult on Jormungandr did so much. I'm not sure if Jormungandr had finished the Void Stone at that point.
No, I don't think he had. I think he's only just completed it on the
That explains a lot, because I'm pretty sure she did like 1,000 damage to Jormungandr.
So Jorm now with a bit of magical protection, but Scylla with that Obshard built, I don't think it's going to be enough to really turn the table in that fight.
I'm not sure it's going to make too much of a difference. Scylla already has Deso plus Pen Boots and Off Shard now. That's just a lot of penetration coming out.
Yeah.
Or Jaybird looking to get this T2.
He'll
He's
get
going to get
T2.
it, but can he get out now?
That is the big question.
Looks like he should be out here. Ganesh is here to help him. Oh, Arthur's going to go in, though. Drop Ganesh ult to try and zone. It did absolutely nothing. Arthur does not care about that slow.
And now Ganesh is so out of position. I don't think combats can rotate.
Should be dropping as well.
Yep. And
yeah, I say it all the time. Slows just don't bother Arthur. He's just got so many movement abilities. Got the knock-up dash. He's got his 2 spin dashes. He just has so much movement that honestly he just does not care about things like
Humbats, you just jumped to your speed buff. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pele's coming for you.
Is a really bad play, but Humbat's able to use his ult to save his life. Not the most conventional way to use a Humbat ult, but hey, better than dying.
You're alive. That's all that matters.
That is all that.
But that ultimate is not going to be available to defend this fire giant right now. So
what I'm interested to see here is again Humbat's going for Rage and looks like a Deathbringer now, really going for crit bots instead of say picking up a Brawler's Beat Stick or something to try and counter the fact that Gilly has double lifesteal.
Ooh, that is unfortunate for the Scylla, but I don't think it's going to make a difference.
What happened?
Just on the edge of the ring, trying to stay out of the range, and the fire giant manages to put a circle underneath, so she goes down to about half health. And now they're just stopping show backing.
Also, yeah. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued that Humbots is going the way of crit instead of going for maybe a much cheaper build, just pin items, particularly Brawler's Beat Stick. I think there's a lot of healing. Oh, big fight's coming out. Big Gebel is able to stun the Ganesh. Ganesh is going to have to try and back out. Jarma's attempting to dive the backline, but it seems like they're just ignoring him.
Well, until his ult's finished now, I'm sure they'll turn on him once the fight's over. But no, looks like he'll get out.
They got a lot of damage off, but we're not able to actually pick up any kills. The big thing is that Truth is not here, but Truth is on the way. Ganesh just barely able to slip out of that
But
fight.
it looks like it will be a disengage. 2 members, your 2 tanks are low health. Humbats is swinging around though.
Jormungandr's able to make some space for bots to try and get out, but Scylla sneaking around the back was unable to connect with the ult on a different side of the map. Truth is just running in, kills Jaybird, pulling Aegis off the Vulcan, gets the double kill on the Vulcan, and Truth is going to just clean this up, I think. There's the knock-up. And Shro with the 4th kill.
Yeah.
No Quadra for Truth.
That will be game.
Played.
I will say in that
game.
Yeah, I will say in that fight, I'm surprised Scylla went into her ult with a Vulcan turret. She could have sickened the Vulcan turret, which wasn't going to move, and easily stunned both of them out. But I don't think it's going to make any difference in this game.
Now this should be game. Looks like the set will go to medium bots 2-1. Really good games. Tribal really showed they are a team to be scared of in game 2. Unable to pull it out in game 3. But, you know, still 3 really, really good. Also, Truth and Dro are insane.
And yeah,
absolutely insane.
And then if you leave Jaybird alone in that game too, he will absolutely be insane as well.
No, Jaybird. Yeah, you're 100% right. On the other side, Jaybird is definitely someone that you need to focus. You know, get Jaybird out of the game. He's a threat too. He showed it in game 2. He had that really late game Hunter with who still had the early game pressure because of the branching Golos. Unable to do the same thing in game 3. Overall, though, I think that was a really good set. I think it was really exciting. I think both teams played it really well. I'm just noticing right now wards on Tribal really low this game again. I think they picked up their ward game in game 2, and I think it showed because they won pretty decisively, and it seems like they kind of dropped the ball on wards this game. Only really the support and the solo picking up wards.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Whether I don't know if it's them trying to play from behind and they don't know if they're behind where the wards are necessarily in their top priority where they're trying to bring on items online. But wards will keep you alive when you know where the enemy's coming from.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Again, I think there were just a few mistakes. Not having anti-heal also on the part of Tribal in the second game when that Pele was doing so much. On her had double life steal. Scylla had a Bancrofts. I think some anti heal items maybe could have helped, but at the end of the day, I don't think one item change would have made or break that game. Truth
No.
and Truth just got really, really big, really, really early. Shro really got online in the mid game with a really big triple kill, and just from there, it was just how do you stop these two giants just running at you and doing all of your health?
Yeah, 100% agree. Like I said, sort of in the game, I think Humbat's maybe his build could have changed to a Jotuns and try and just play off that ultimate and get it off cooldown on cooldown a lot more. Don't think Transcendence was the right pickup. Hydra's works really well on the Humbats and it gives that 10%, and you don't have to wait for about 20 minutes to try and stack it when you're 10 levels, you're 10 kills down, sort of thing. So there are a few sort of things here and there they could have done, but overall, just Show and Truth really absolutely dominating that game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. But thank you for having me cast again. Appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoyed. Even though I crashed out of two different games. Thank you, high res and spectator mode. Please fix.
Yeah, 100% needs to be fixed.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 5 minute break here on stream and see if I can get into that get paper scissors Cobra's game 2 and see if I can actually spectate it. If not, I don't know if I can cast the whole set. I know I've got game 1 possibly, but I'm not sure about game 2. So I'll see you all in about 5 minutes.